Great, we're gonna have to come up with a cool name.
Yeah.
Green frogs.
The Brown Stains.
Brown States, right?
Roadkill.
So as comes up to sort of that time of time for dinner, you do hear the slaves, say to you, "Master, it's almost time. Are you ready to go down and get some dinner and some well-rewarded drink?"
I tell mine that we will go when I'm ready, and then I'll say I'm ready.
All right, gotcha. Just as he or she says okay, then they stop and you say that, and then they said, "Of course."
I'll meet up with Tetsalu and we'll head down.
All right, sounds good. So as you all start making your way down the stairs to the banquet, you can hear the sound of music and a little bit of laughter. This is unusual. Typically, when you go down there, people are usually kind of huddled around themselves, not really talking, but you can hear what sounds like a very almost boisterous and people having fun. There you see, as you walk in, there's a long banquet hall that's there. This is if you think of a convention center where they have an area that opens up the wall and opens into bigger rooms. So this room is very, very long now. You've never seen it quite this big before. And you do see that the White Ravens are there, as well as you see the other groups of people that have kind of been around. You see at the far end of the table is Master Thorn sitting on a large chair, and you see Theodora sitting off to his right. And there's some smiling and whatnot. And behind each of the tables there, you see there is a slave or two slaves sitting behind each one of the people that are there. You do see at the next to kind of where Master Thorn is at, there is a large area that's sort of open behind him that has some chairs and whatnot, almost set up as if like a presentation or kind of a church or the pews. They're not pews, but they're chairs, and a chair in the front with a large open area that's kind of behind him, past the table that's there. As you walk in, he stands up, and everybody sort of quiets down, and he says, "Please come in, have a seat," and kind of points to some empty chairs, which are fairly close to him and Theodora. Kind of right next to Theodora, to her right.
I'll go over and sit down.
So as you go and sit down, you see the slave gets behind you and pushes the chair in for you. The rest of you see that there's another 5 chairs that are there. Squee, do you sit next to Theodora, or do you sit as far away from her as possible?
I'll sit next to her.
Okay, gotcha. So there's 5 more chairs, and then you see that the chair, the last chair farthest away from her, is sitting right next to Elise, who is appears to be the leader of the White Raven group that was there.
Do they give me a booster chair?
They actually do. They have a chair that's specially made for our shorter people in the group, so that way you're sitting more of a level height.
I'm gonna run up and get the next chair.
Next chair to squeeze.
I'm racing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you race over there.
I'll sit next to the closest to the other leader.
Okay. All right. Zadria. All right, so you kind of sit down, and she looks over to you, and she kind of nods and kind of passes a smile along to you. You notice that her forehead has it looks like, from the glinting light, like something is on her forehead that sort of has the triangle of Asmodeus. It's kind of a tint. You didn't really notice that before, and as you look around the room, you see a lot of people there actually have that. There you go, right?
Has an added benefit of keeping the goblins separated.
That's true. So as the rest of you kind of sit down and whatnot, food is brought out. The food is the things that you typically like. They're obviously well accustomed to you all and what you eat and whatnot. There's general banter and discussion that you hear, people talking about things and whatnot. It feels almost jovial, which is pretty unusual for what you're used to. Even Squee Theodora will look at you and kind of smile and sort of put up with some of your comments and whatnot, which typically she would just sort of look down her nose at you at times. So. At a certain point during the during the dinner, you kind of finish up with the food and whatnot, and starting to have some drink, and Adrastus Thorn sort of pushes back on the chair, and as he does, the entire room kind of goes quiet at that point, and he looks around and he says, "I appreciate you all coming to this great banquet, and of course it's in honor of our new friends that have joined us here for the last month. They've done well in their training." And you kind of hear sort of a polite clap that kind of goes around the room as everybody sort of looks over to you, and some people sort of move their chair off to the side. He says, "Please, I ask that you take your drinks and come over and have a seat over here." And he kind of pushes his chair back and kind of goes away from the table and goes to where all the seats are sort of lined up, sort of in a presentation type of style. And he says, he looks to you guys and he says, "Please, I'd like you all in the front row if you don't mind."
I get up and run over there before.
Well, I'm
Nope.
running too.
Nope.
I-
I'm first.
Initiative rolls.
I was quick on the initiative roll.
You were quick, and you were quick on running too.
Well, then I punch balls and go before him.
Sounds good. So Balls doesn't even see it coming. So Squee goes running past you guys as well.
No, I'm not.
So you guys kind of get up and move over, and you see Sue. You see kind of Master Thorn just kind of gets this sort of wry smile across his face, almost as if he finds a little bit of humor, which is unusual. You haven't seen that really in his face before.
I will sit down at the end of the front row.
Okay. So you kind of go down there and sit at the end there. You see the rest of the people kind of move as well, and you see that the slaves, your slaves, are now sort of lined up, sort of on the wall. If you want to think of it as you're looking, sitting forward, there's walls on either side, and you see them sort of lined up on the wall. And you see the slaves for the other group also line up, and they just sort of stare across the open expanse at each other, which is in front of the throne that's in the front that's there. So Master Thorn moves up and has a seat there, and kind of wrestles with some stuff that's alongside the side of the chair as everybody sort of starts to sit down. As everybody sort of gets situated, Master Thorn stands up and he says, "To our newest members of the group and the ones that have worked so hard, I want to tell you that I finally feel that we have formed the ninth and final knot that's needed for this endeavor that we're planning." And you hear kind of everybody kind of sort of bang their boot against the floor and sort of a kind of an approval as he does that. He says, "Please, would you all step up for me, please, or stand up?"
I stand on the chair seat.
Sounds good.
Me too.
All right.
Me three.
Okay. I assume Balls probably does the same.
Well, if he doesn't, I drag him up.
Sounds good.
So does Tetsulo.
All right. So Tetsulo stands on the chair too.
Yeah.
So as you all sort of stand up, he says, "I now pronounce you all have the title of the Nessian Knot." And again, you hear them all kind of clap quickly, and you kind of hear hooting and hollering and whatnot as they all seem to be pretty pleased with what you have done. And so he says, "I think that we need a ritual for this. Don't you agree?" And you hear people again calling out, and he goes, all hail Asmodeus, and you hear the entire room repeats that verbatim as he says that. He looks to your group and he says, I need you all to take one step forward for me, please.
Step forward, fall off chair.
So do I.
All right. So you both.
I will climb down and then step forward.
All right. So you guys do that.
Now, does everybody do that, or just our group?
Just your group. That's what he's asking for.
Okay.
And even though he says like step forward, one step, it's still probably 15 feet across the room, sort of thing. There's this large open area, almost like a dance floor, I guess, if you want to think of it. It's kind of like that, but it's not really a dance floor. But and so he kind of indicates for you all which to kind of step forward. And as you do, you hear him sort of say some things in a language. I'm not sure if anybody understands it. Let's see. Nope. So he kind of has this very guttural sort of trance or thing that he says, and you see he starts to move his hands in a certain motion. And can I have perception, since it's not really a passive, you guys are actually actively watching him. If I can have a perception check from everybody, that'd be great. All right, excellent. Did we miss anybody? 2, 4, 5. Missing one person.
Balls.
No, we got balls actually.
Tetsu?
Oh no, I got it. I saw it. I missed it. It was Balls' dancing actually is got in the way there. So.
Goddamn balls dancing.
Yep.
Balls is dangling.
If we put him out front when he's doing that, are we following the dancing ball?
Nice. I think you are, right?
We could do a cargo train.
So as you see them, you see him sort of kind of staring off, saying these words. His hands are moving in a motion that you recognize as most likely probably casting some sort of a spell of something.
I tense up.
Yeah, I would too.
Counterspell.
It's all killed.
That'd be awesome. And the campaign's over. So as that happens, you start to hear the sounds of what sounds like almost kind of drum beats sort of in the background, sort of this sort of ritualistic kind of music that is occurring. However, you don't see anybody really around at all. And that's playing the music. Is just kind of coming from wherever. And suddenly you see on the floor there ends up being this large circle that sort of illuminates probably about 5 or 6 feet in diameter, and you see there's these runes that are on the floor that, again, they're not magical runes, they're not arcanic runes per se, they're more of a writing that you're not familiar with at all. And coming out of there you see this sort of this greenish brown spike kind of comes out, and then as that happens you see the spike kind of moves up, and as it does it starts to form more spikes that are kind of coming out probably around the size of about maybe 2 feet or so in a circular thing, and slowly you start to see what appears to be ears that are all spiked on it, and this head kind of rises up, and there's these large red eyes that are there, and this sort of grotesque creature kind of climbs up, and it has sort of these spikes all over its arm and whatnot, and it looks almost as if it's climbing right out of the floor, and it kind of pulls itself up, and as it does, you sort of recognize that this obviously is not from this plane here, and it kind of is now standing in the center of the circle, kind of looking around, and its head turns back and forth and looks everywhere, and as he finally finishes the ritual, the circle disappears with the glowing. It's just sort of lightly traced there, and you can see this devil is kind of looking back and forth, and its eyes are going back and forth, checking everything out, and Master Thorn looks to the group and says, So, I have summoned this devil for sacrifice. I need one of you to choose what's going to be sacrificed. And as he says that, he pauses for a second.
I'll put Squee forward.
He
I
smiles.
I choose its left leg.
He smiles and he says, "Not one of you." And he points over to your slaves. He says, "One of your slaves. Please pick one."
I'll point at one of mine and say that one.
All right. So he nods, and he doesn't even wait for the rest of the group to say anything. And as he points to that slave, you see he says, "Well, take it over there."
Was he talking to me when he said that?
He was. Yep.
I'll look at it, snap my fingers, and point over here next to it.
So as you do that, you see that the slave kind of moves over towards the devil there, and you can see the devil's kind of gets this sort of big toothy grin and smiles, and you can see he's just angst with sort of energy and excitement. As soon as the slave gets close enough to the circle, you see the devil immediately dives onto it and starts to just rip the slave apart, and just starts eating at the slave. The rest of the room doesn't really say anything as this continues. And you see the devil is just entranced on taking care of the slave that's there. As that happens, you see Master Thorn reaches down to the right side of his chair and pulls out this large, almost sacrificial dagger that you see. And he slowly kind of walks behind the devil that's there. And he takes the dagger and just lightly touches it underneath one of its ribs. And as he does, you see blood sort of pours down this blade. Sort of this greenish ichor that he has, and he kind of pulls the blade back, and the devil continues to kind of feed on this slave as that happens, and you can kind of see that there's kind of blood everywhere and whatnot. And as that happens, he comes over to you, Squee, and he reaches down and he has the blade on his hand that's there, and he kind of runs his fingers along the blade, which is now covered with blood, and he makes the unholy symbol of Asmodeus on your forehead, which obviously, Sue, you recognize that the rest of the people in this room, this is kind of what you saw on Elise's forehead as well, and it sort of leaves this kind of this discoloration on your skin itself that's there, especially in the light that's here. And so Squee, as he does that, you hear him sort of chant something as that occurs. Then he moves on down the line. So the next is he does it to Itchy.
Does it burn?
It doesn't actually, but you do feel this this feeling of sort of, it's not calm, but almost as if you've been kind of taken into your mom's arms and really hugged, and sort of that warmth that you would feel being in your mom's arms. So almost as if you're part of something. And then he continues down the line and gets Harry, and then Balls after that, Tetsulo, and then finally at the end gets Sue. And Sue, as that happens, you can kind of feel that, and the rest of you sort of watch as he goes by, and he sort of makes that mark. And as he does, you see Theodora goes down and immediately sort of claps her hands twice. And as that happens, the floor, almost as look of it, opens underneath this barbed devil, and it looks like he just falls right through the ground, and then the symbols sort of disappear with the slave gone as well. And as that happens, he says, "Behold," he says, "the Nessian knot is forged. Just in time." Cardinal Thorn kind of remarks to you guys. He says, "My ship has arrived. It's on the river dock behind the manor, along the river, and it's under the cover of darkness." He says, "I appreciate you all coming to the ceremony," and you see the rest of the people all kind of in unison sort of say, "All hail Asmodeus," as if they knew that that's what was supposed to be said. And as that happens, he says, "Please be gone. I will meet with you guys in the morning." And that's sort of the end of the ritual itself.
So now we have the party?
As you say that, you see the rest of the people kind of move off, and Theodora comes down and says, "Party?"
Don't you usually celebrate after a ceremony?
She says, "We have celebrated. Don't you feel it?"
I guess so.
Well, I think you green folk do different things than us human folk.
Well, that's true.
I thought there was a party going around here.
She says, "You have had the party. That was the party."
It should be a celebration that lasts throughout the year.
That was the ritual.
She says, "No, that was the party."
That was the ritual. Commander Thorne said.
Yeah.
We didn't have our good times or our laughter too.
So she kind of hears you guys talking, and she walks by and looks to Sue, and she says, "How are you going to keep all these little folk in line?"
It is a daily trial of my patience and fortitude.
Yes, I bet. And so she kind of moves off and moves along as that happens. And then it ends up that it's really just the six of you that are all sort of sitting there. Obviously you have these marks on your forehead, which now have sort of faded down where you can barely see the mark that's there.
I'm gonna go around drinking any wine that's left over.
Oh yeah, there's lots of glasses of wine on the table.
Oh yeah.
You see some of the slaves are starting to try to clean it up and whatnot. So
I
yeah,
will
go ahead.
stuff all of the leftover eggs into my pockets.
Sounds good.
Because you said they brought what we eat, right?
Yeah,
So
oh, yeah, they
all
had
the
lots of
eggs
it.
that are left over and bacon in my
Nice.
pocket.
Sounds good. So you got probably a dozen or so eggs in your pocket. As the place fills out, you see that all your slaves are still there, except for obviously minus one of Squeeze, which is now missing. They continue to kind of watch, and as you guys are there doing your partying.
I get up and dance like a human.
Nice. And so you're kind of dancing and whatnot.
I'm dancing on the table.
Nice.
My birthday suit.
I like it.
Well, if they're dancing, I'm dancing too.
Of course.
I'll get my birthday suit and get up on the table with him.
All right, so
Well,
you get-
because it's our birthday, we're all getting up there on the table.
Yeah. Well, it's not your birthday.
It can be.
You don't know. You don't know when you were hatched.
That is true. So I'm taking this day as my birthday.
No. You can't have it. It's me and Harry's birthday.
Well, I'm celebrating.
Then you have to sing happy birthday to me and Harry.
Yeah, you came out last.
No. I came out first.
Oh yeah, Balls came out last. You guys sing happy birthday.
That's the rules.
No, that's not right. You made those rules up.
That's right, because I'm the oldest. Now celebrate.
How many glasses of wine are out here?
Let's see. $35 glasses.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm busy. All right.
So go ahead and give me a con save.
Did you add the +1 to our saves yet? Did we do
No,
like
I
a
didn't. I didn't
script,
touch.
or we
I didn't
just-
touch your. I didn't
Should
touch
I
your
add
character
it?
sheets at all.
+1? All right.
I think you can do it on the action tab.
This
Actually.
this has a +1.
Okay, gotcha. Oh, is it? I think it's to your spell DC. Is that the one you took? Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's spell DC, not saves.
Oh, spell DC. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
your
definitely
DC
take
against
it.
their saves. Yeah. So,
Oh yeah, that's gonna be nice.
yeah. So you see Harry quickly starts grabbing a bunch of glasses of wine, going around the table, drinking out of each one. Does anybody else partake?
I do.
All right, go ahead and roll a con save.
I went upstairs.
Okay, awesome.
And well, see, I'm not drinking all of them. I'm like getting them in my mouth, swishing them around, and I'm spitting it back out
Nice.
and setting it down so Harry can get some.
I like it. That sounds
So,
good.
so I get advantage.
Yeah, you get advantage, sure.
What are you doing? Swishing it in your mouth?
Yeah, I'm swishing it around and I'm spitting it back into cups.
So, Harry and Balls, you guys go around and do that, and you drink. You guys see that they drink all the cups, but they get to the last two, and just as Balls is about to drink out of it, he collapses and falls down on the table, and Harry falls down right next to him, and they've got their heads like touching at the top of each other. They're both like passed out, snoring.
And this is when I win the celebration, and then I'll just like grab their legs and pull them up to our room.
All right. So I see Itchy's kind of one in each hand, right? And their heads are dragging behind you as you're dragging them up there.
Yeah, sure, they'll be fine.
Yeah.
Hopefully there's not stairs.
There is, of course. You got stairs to go up. So, yeah. Tetsu and Sue, you guys kind of watch this literal train wreck, right? So as finally the festivities have ended and you guys go up to your room and get some sleep, kind of early in the morning, earlier than you would typically get up, you hear knocks on the door.
I'll answer my door.
Alrighty. As you answer it, you see that it's one of the slaves that usually helps with dinner and things like that. And he looks to you and he says, Master Thorne has requested your attendance at his office.
I thought you said he left.
No, he's still here.
Oh, I thought you had said out of character. I thought you said he left on a boat that was waiting.
No, he said his boat was here, but then he left. I apologize if that was unclear. So he left the room. He didn't actually leave the manor. So he just commented that his boat was here.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that wasn't clear.
I'll go over and I'll get dressed and go over and meet with Tetsu and then head down with him.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So each of you hear kind of a knock on the door.
Answer it.
Yep, it says, please, the master is waiting for you.
I'll follow.
Alrighty, gotcha. Harry, Itchy, Balls.
Somebody's knocking at the door.
Not my
It's
turn
too
to get it.
early.
They again pound on the door.
I'll send my unseen servant. Give me 15 minutes.
All right. You say that, and the slave says, "You don't have 15 minutes."
I'm in ritual.
What's that again?
I'm casting my ritual.
Oh, you're casting your ritual. So Tetsu, Squee, and Sue, as you go down the stairs, and you see the other, the slave is still pounding on the door to the goblin room as he's like, "You don't have that time. Come on, let's go. Can't keep the master waiting." So the three of you go down the stairs and you walk towards the office. And as you get to the office, the slave that was with you says, "Please wait here for a minute. Master Thorne isn't quite ready." And you kind of all standing there. As that happens, you see after a few minutes, the doors sort of open up, and you see that Elise Zadaria kind of walks out of the room, and you can see that she has a sort of a scroll case that's in her hand. And of course, she kind of looks to your group, and a big smile comes across her face, and she nods to you, Sue.
I nod back. Good morning.
She says, "Good morning, indeed." She says, "I think this is a bit for a while. You ready for it?"
Ready for what?
Big smile comes across. She says, "You'll find here in a few minutes." She says,
For the beginning of mayhem that will wreak throughout the lands?
Exactly. And a big smile comes across. Says, hopefully you guys can survive, and we'll see each other again soon.
I have no doubt.
She kind of nods and kind of walks off, and you can hear Cardinal Thorne says, he's like, Nessie and Knot, please, come in.
Walk in.
All right, and so as you kind of walk in, and he's kind of working at the table and whatnot, he sees that you walk in, Squee. Kind of looks up and he says, where's the rest of the knot?
Little unraveled in their room.
They might have partook a little too much last night in the celebration of our being joined to the Nessian knot. They are preparing and on their way down shortly.
He looks, he says, they keep me waiting.
No, Master, we just wanted to make sure that they were presentable to you. You know how these small folk can be sometimes.
I glance over at him.
All right. Over at Sue.
Yep.
All right. He kind of pushes the chair back and he says, well, says they better not have me wait too long. He kind of walks. Yeah, go ahead.
Has it been 15 minutes?
It's been 3.
Right, exactly.
Oh. Still in ritual.
Yeah. So as the time goes by, you see that Master Thorne is kind of moving around the room and whatnot. He goes over and you see he's got a large tapestry that's on the wall, and it's a large map of the Kingdom of Talengard that you see there.
Large map of what, sir?
Sorry, the Kingdom of Talengard.
Okay, thank you.
Yep, no problem. And so you see that there's various areas that are labeled on the map itself, and you kind of see him just kind of standing over there sort of looking throughout the map. You do see where the prison is at, so you know that you're very close to that. I have it actually marked on the map for you on your location of where you're at. And you do see that he sort of has a sort of a symbol of Asmodeus on a large building that's there, kind of indicating the town itself. As you look through the remaining towns and names and whatnot, you don't see any further marks indicating, Asmodeus or anything else really at this point on that map. He studies it for a few minutes. It's probably been about 15 minutes now for the goblins upstairs.
Well, I'm getting up and straightening up my armor, my chain armor, and making sure I've got my medal out front, my Asmodean medal.
Uh-huh. Nice.
Okay, guys, time to get up. Balls, Harry.
Still doing my ritual.
I want to be a pirate.
You can be a pirate. Get up.
All right, I'm up.
I'll just keep getting ready while he's finishing his
right.
ritual.
At this point, you see Cardinal Thorne turns around and looks and he says, "Really? Not yet?"
I'm sorry, Master. Maybe we could join with the White Ravens instead?
He said, the 8th knot does not need more members. I need a 9th knot, the Nessian knot. Turns back, goes to sit down, and starts writing.
They're a little unorthodox, but they'll get the job done when it's needed.
Job is now. Says they better.
I'll go get them.
Alrighty. So you quickly run out and
I'll go upstairs to their room and fling open the door.
Humdy, 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 ha.
If you're not downstairs soon, you're going to be the next ones fed to that devil.
Well, nobody told us that.
Well, I'm telling you now, so get your butts out of here and get downstairs.
Well, let's go.
I use my disguise self to look like Squee.
Okay.
Everybody get up, and we gotta go downstairs. You're right now. Get your butt downstairs. I just start mocking everything he says.
I grab my stuff and disguise myself as Squee also.
I do too.
All right.
I'm heading back down.
Sounds good. So Sue, as Squee walks away, Master Thorn looks at you and he says, "If you're interested," he says, "I do know of a large contingent of other people that could maybe join your group. More similar in size and stature."
It sounds good, Master, but you did specifically say that we should look out for the members in our party, or at least the contract told us that. But of course, we'll go by what you suggest.
As you say that, you see he's got his head, he's kind of down, his head is down, and he looks up, but he doesn't, his eyes look at you, but he doesn't pick up his head, so he's kind of looking upwards. And as he does, he gets this real sort of sardonic smile across his face, and he says, it's good not to violate a contract, isn't it?
Yes, Master.
So as that happens, you see Squee runs in, and then another Squee, and a third Squee, and a fourth Squee all come running into the room.
I am not running.
All right, sorry, the last Squee is walking.
I go stand right up next to everybody else and salute him.
All right. He looks and he says, "No salutes are needed."
They're right next to Itchy Squee and salute him too.
You, as you salute, you hear him said, "Are you sure?"
No.
I just stand at attention.
But a contract is a contract. I look over, as I say that, I look over at the three of them and just give them just the nastiest, evil look as I say a contract is a contract.
Right. So as everybody comes in, he kind of walks behind the group that's standing in line with two of them saluting, one standing at attention, and Squee walking in slowly. Closes the door behind you all and kind of walks back, and he says, kind of in this almost deep, almost inhuman sort of quality to his voice, which unfortunately I can't do today. I apologize, but he pretty much says, "I'm glad that my children have come downstairs." And there's sort of this heavy emphasis on children as he walks around the little folk. He says, "Your training is at end. You've proven yourself worthy until today," he says under his breath. He says, "But now, it's time for you to use that training and take on your first mission." And he looks at you all and kind of stands there and walks over kind of to the large tapestry of Talonguard there and says, "Your mission is war, my children. You will bring war to this Talonguard." And he kind of points towards the map. He says, "You have two objectives. First, you'll see a shipment of munitions delivered to the Bugbear Chieftain. He's named Sakarat Fireaxe. He makes camp on the northern coast of Lake Tarek, beyond the watch wall." And so he kind of points up towards the map. And as he does, you can see he traces his finger along the coast that's there. And he takes the arrow and just sort of kind of points it as he kind of continues to trace up the coast as he's talking. As he gets to here, and you all are well aware of this, but this is kind of where the watch wall is located, and it kind of comes across here to Lake Tarek. And then you see that it continues along this line all the way across and sort of splits the continent in half. You know that south of that is where the humans live and is sort of the area of Tillerian that is civilized, I guess, if you want to think it that way. And then to the north, obviously, is the savage north, and that's where a lot of creatures live, including a lot of your brethren, Hairy and Itchy and Balls. So most of them live north of that wall. And obviously the wall that's there is to try to keep you all separated. And so he obviously points to Lake Tarek to kind of indicate where you'll be heading. And he says, with this shipment, Fire Axe will have resources. Yeah, I know. Will have resources to fight this war and to unite the barbarous humanoid tribes of the north. And he kind of walks over to the window and pulls the curtains open. And as he does that, he says, sitting on the dock as we speak is the longship Frosthammer. It's captained by Kargud Odenkirk. And he kind of gestures for you all to come over to the large window that he has there to see outside the window.
Did you say his name was Captain Kirk?
Prop me up, Itchy.
Odenkirk.
I pick him up so he can see.
All right, gotcha. So as you kind of lift yourself up and look outside, you see that it looks almost similar to kind of like a Viking ship. But unfortunately, it has a single mast. It is stacked with goods that you can see them kind of moving them onto the ship here. And you see that there's no real cabin to it at all. It just pretty much has a mast that's there. You do see that there's 2 doors that appears that there definitely is a lower level to this, to the boat that's there. You do see that it does have, the picture doesn't indicate that, but it does have oars on the side of it to go ahead and row it. And sort of steady waters and whatnot. It's perfect for going up rivers and things, but you notice that it is seaworthy as well. It has a high bow and does appear to cut through waves fairly well. And
So we're to take these supplies to Sekeric Fire Axe?
yes, you are. And he says, once the cargo is delivered safely to him, you'll need to he will take you just south across the lake under the cover of darkness and land you near the town of Aldencross.
I know Alden Cross well.
Ah, you do? You from there?
I spent some time in a little village just to the west of Alden Cross.
I see. So you know it's really a soldier's town, right?
Yes, sir.
He says, well, when you work with Captain Odenkirk tomorrow, the ship will be resupplied. You can see it's being supplied today for your transport. The captain is a ruthless mercenary, and he's not to be trusted. He knows nothing about the specifics of your mission, and you should keep it that way. He knows he's smuggling cargo to the north beyond the Watch Wall, and that's all he needs to know. Said once he delivers you to the town of Aldencross after you deliver the supplies, our contract with Captain Odenkirk is concluded. And you kind of see him looking, and you can see there's a kind of a gruff-looking gentleman that's down there, kind of directing things, who you assume is probably the captain. As he does that, Master Thorn just kind of stares off for a minute, and then he says, "It's a shame how greedy he has proven to be.
Are we to dispatch him after the supplies have been delivered?
Sue, you read my mind, don't you? You're gonna do well." He says, "You're right. I had hoped he had served me again, but he's too much of a liability. I do want you to kill him. I want you to kill his crew, too. Burn his ship. Leave no survivors. It's crucial that no one suspects our involvement and that all the loose ends are taken care of. Be sure to reclaim the coin I gave him, too. It's best not to be wasteful."
Of course.
Once that's done, you'll begin your second task. We'll do more to aid our ally, the Fire Axe. The Bugbears are mighty warriors, but they're poor siege engineers, as you can imagine. And he looks kind of back at your group and looks to you, Sue, and he says, "Simple minds, you know?"
Yes.
You'll need to infiltrate the Tower of Ballantine, the keystone of the Watch Wall, the entrance between the Savage North and the Borderlands. You've seen it, correct?
Yes, I have.
So you know that Tower Ballantine is really kind of that area of entrance and exit, and sort of holds back kind of the savage north from pouring into the civilized land. It is, as you know, garrisoned with quite a few troops, and is pretty well fortified as well. It's a fairly large keep that's there. And so, as you say that, he says, so you'll infiltrate the tower. I want you to kill its commander and open the gates for Sakura's horde to come through. You kind of see him staring off, and he says, once those shaggy monstrosities pierce the watch wall, the bugbears will pillage and lay waste to the townships to the north. The local garrisons will have no choice but to meet him in the open field. But that's their downfall. Sakura's a brilliant and gifted and murderous bugbear of his generation. I expect these battles will go poorly for the knights and the yeomen of the fair Talengard. He says, do all of this, and then when your task is done, I want you to break this clay seal. And he hands over to you, Sue, this, it's probably about the size of a small dinner plate, and it's a delicately carved sort of clay seal that's flat on the top and the bottom, and on the top of it you see it has this sort of tangled knot of thorns that sort of surrounds this holy symbol of Asmodeus. He says, I'll have more instructions for you then, but don't break the seal too early.
This will alert you of our success.
He smiles. He says, correct. He says, succeed and I'll reward you handsomely, I promise. Fail or betray me, you'll pray for comfort in hell when I'm done with you. He looks at Harry and Itchy and Squee and Balls as you guys are trying to climb up and try to look out the window, I think.
Yeah, I didn't make it.
I see that, yeah, so you end up falling down. I did miss that earlier, sorry.
I'll pick him up with my other arm and
All right.
so he can see.
That's nice. So you got him under both arms.
So, Sue, we need a code word for when we take out this captain.
Pork and beans.
Sleeping with the fishes.
I think that might be a little too on the nose.
How about die human die?
They're
Once
not
again,
humans, are
might
they?
be a little too on the nose. Yeah, they're barbarians or Vikings or something.
Yeah, they're kind of a human offset, but yeah, they're not necessarily from the Talarian area.
Sakarak Fire Axe is a bugbear. That's probably who you're.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
Sorry.
We're working with him.
Yeah, you guys are working with him. Yep.
Order 666.
There you go. That'll work.
All right.
As you guys are talking, Cardinal Thorn looks to you and he says, the mission you start upon today is a holy mission. People of Talengard think they've seen the last of our mighty Asmodeus. Soon enough, we'll remind them that there is no escaping the grasp of hell. Let us, please, toast to our success. And he walks over and you see he takes out 7 glasses of from his bureau that he has. And you see he takes out this bottle that looks like deep, deep red wine, and he pours it into each of the glasses. And then he finally pours himself one as last, and he hands each of you a glass.
I'll drop Harry and Balls and go to take mine.
All right, sounds good.
Scramble to get mine.
I bet. And as he does that, he kind of holds up his glass to you all, waiting to see if you all return in kind.
Tetsalu and I will both pick up our glasses.
All right, what you doing there, Squee?
I'll hold mine up as well.
Okay, gotcha. As he does, he says, "To war," and he kind of pushes the glass out and then takes it and takes a big drink.
To war!
To
I'll drink
war.
mine.
All right, sounds good.
To war.
And you see he takes a long drink from the glass and sets it down on the bureau. Still, he leaves about a quarter of a cup that's in there.
I drink all of mine.
All right.
I'll take a drink from mine.
All right.
I go for his.
Okay. All right.
I drank all of mine.
All right.
I drink what's left of his.
All right. So you drink both of them. Sounds good. He looks at you all.
Is there anything else?
He said, oh yes, I forgot. Good luck.
We got good planning on our part. It'll work.
I've heard about your planning.
Always review it 3 times.
He kind of goes back to the desk and sits down and starts working on what looks like some paperwork at the desk.
I'm gonna turn and head up to my room to get my stuff.
Okay.
I will get my stuff.
Well, what time of the day is it?
It's morning.
Okay, and so we're not supposed to leave till night, right?
Correct.
He said we had to burn the boat down, didn't he?
Just wait on that. That happens quite a long ways. Remember, Order 666. That's the key word.
Oh, we don't burn it down now?
Nope. No burning. No killing yet.
But I want to burn it down now.
See, that's why I'm the smart one. I thought of the order.
We're all gonna die.
So we basically have the day before we're supposed to leave tonight.
You pretty much do. I mean, if you wanted to, you could. It sounds like he's okay with you leaving the manor now, which you haven't left in about 3 or 4 months.
How often can we use that disguise ring? Once a day, right?
Once per day. Yep.
Yeah, you guys all already burned it.
Let me use my disguise kit.
All right.
So I assume we leave Adrastus's office.
Yes. Yeah, I assume you do too. I was waiting to see what you decided.
And then
Yeah, I'm going up to my room.
Is Theodora around?
She, you know that she's out and about. I mean, you definitely could call for her if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Okay, gotcha. So, so you guys kind of go do your stuff and whatnot, and Sue kind of, you kind of wander around and finally find one of the slaves that typically works with her, and she, the slave says, yeah, I can grab her one moment, and you see as she goes into a room, you kind of follow her, and she says, wait here, please, and the door's open, and as they do, you see Theodore's in there, and she has about 4 or 5 slaves that are around her, and you see that she's kind of in a bath and whatnot. And she kind of looks, turns her head backwards and looks behind, and she says, I'll be there in a moment. And the door's kind of shut, and you can give it a moment or so, and then she comes up to you, and she says, yes, how can I help you, Sue?
So the master told us that we might have leave of the manor. I'm just wondering, obviously we haven't been out in months. Do we still need to wear disguises or the armbands, or are we pretty much free to do whatever?
She says, I think you and Tetzlu are probably fine. However, the small green folk probably need to be disguised anytime they're outside of the walls of
Yes,
security.
yeah, of course.
She says, the guards have stopped looking for you. They figure that you've either been lost or are hiding somewhere that they're unable to find you. There's no more armbands, and the city is back to normal. It has been for the last couple months. Appreciate
Very
you
good.
asking.
Very good.
I think it's low suspicion if you want to leave the manor.
Okay. That was all I was checking on.
She looks at you and says, don't screw up your mission.
I will try my very best.
Just keep those green folk in line too, would you?
I will try my very best.
She nods, and she says, is there anything else?
No, I believe that is all.
He nods to you and closes the door. So Harry, you kind of work with your disguise kit. It's been a while since you've used it.
Still got it though. Still got the touch.
What are you trying to look like?
Female halfling.
So as Harry Harry kind of does that. Squee, you're kind of mixing your poisons up there real quick, trying to get a few more made in the last few minutes. Balls and Itchy. What are you guys doing while Harry and Squee are working on their stuff?
I look at Harry and I'm like, it's makeup time, Harry.
Yeah, I already put mine on. See?
So as he turns around, you see he has caked on the biggest, thickest makeup all around his eyes. I mean, we're thinking of like somebody, there's like a 10-year-old that's trying to make themselves, look like they have beautiful makeup on. So really thick eyeliner and the eyes are all sallow. He looks god awful.
I think I'm just going to get a big cloak.
All right.
I'll look around for a big cloak.
Oh, they have one.
Halfling size.
Yep.
They cover my feet.
God, we're not even gonna make it out of town.
Yeah, Gremlins, that's an awesome movie. Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like. That's awesome. I love that picture. That's funny. I forgot about that movie. So,
Because the base is a the kobold, right?
right, it's exactly right. That's awesome. That's exactly what he looks like. Awesome picture. Squee, you are able to. You have some tough time yourself over there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you work on it. I think it's the pressure of knowing that you got to get out pretty quickly. So.
I do want to ask, do these, ask one of my slaves, do they ever leave the manor to run errands?
The slave says, "You've never asked me to."
Okay, are you allowed to leave the manor if told?
I do whatever you tell me to do. One of them smiles and says, "You should know this. I've been with you for 3 months. Have I not done everything you've told me to do?"
Yeah, I just didn't know if there were rules about you having to stay inside all the time.
My rule is to serve you implicitly.
Alright, you see this pouch right here on my side?
Yes.
I want you to go out into the town and see if you can get me another one of these. Go buy one.
As you wish. And she walks out.
That worked well.
So after Harry, you have your disguise on, and Balls, you're wearing a cloak, and Sue, you finish talking with Theodora. What would you all like to do? Are you going to wait till nighttime? Are you going to head out and explore the town?
I'm gonna grab Tetsalu and go up and grab my horn and head over to the tavern.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm gonna throw a robe on like Balls has.
All right.
Now that I've seen him with the robe, I'm like, that's a good idea.
Well, I had to get a boat cloak, though. Since we're going on a boat.
What do you get? I'm sorry?
A boat cloak.
A boat cloak?
Just smile and agree to it.
Yeah. So, the squee for you at about an hour or so goes by, and she comes back with a pouch. Looks almost identical to the pouch that you have.
This is a poison pouch that I was showing her, right?
I didn't know if you said that. I thought you said just a pouch.
Oh, no, I didn't.
Sorry, I didn't know you were indicating to your poison pouch and you wanted a poison pouch.
Fine, thanks.
So she says, what you wish for?
When we're in the
Yeah.
manor, can we get additional supplies like arrows and rations and such, or do
Yeah.
we need to purchase those
No,
now?
I think the general things you could probably get.
Okay.
Within reason, I think. I think there was a kind of, we had said, I think a 50 gold limit, I think, but you guys had used it for like potions and stuff. So pretty much if you didn't have any money left over, which I think everybody used it for something, you could get arrows, simple things like that. Nothing too absorbent.
Okay. Yeah, I just want a couple bundles of
Yep.
crossbow bolts.
Sure, absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Can I get some more caltrops?
Yeah, absolutely.
I might get like 5 days of rations.
All right, sounds good. I don't know if anybody has, if you guys have those things, great, add them in. If you don't, just let me know.
I got 1 day of rations.
Just add on the number of how many you want to carry, that you can carry, squee.
Is that some dig at my carrying capacity?
No. Mm-mm. Just your small stature, that's all. So, Sue and Tetsuo, as you kind of go through town and kind of make your way through and go to the tavern, you see that the tavern itself has several merchants that seem to be passing by. It definitely seems like business is back to normal. You guys are able to slip in. It's fairly busy. There's a fire in the corner, and you see that the bartender is kind of serving up some drinks in the back, and he has two maid and matron that kind of come out and kind of offer you some venison and state that it is free of the house, as it's going to go bad pretty soon if they don't get rid of it, and offer you a drink.
It's the lunch crowd.
Yeah, it is the lunch crowd.
I'll get an ale.
Alrighty. And she nods and she says, I'll be right back. And she goes and gets one of the apple ales that they have there. Brings it back.
And I'll just sit at the bar and just kind of listen to the talk of the town, see if I can pick up anything. I'm not really going to interact with anybody.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Sounds good. So as you kind of sit and listen, you do hear sort of general discussions about goods being moved back and forth. You do hear some talk about, kind of the weather and how the farming is going and whatnot. Just sort of the general hubbub of the city of Arras that you hear there. You do hear a little bit of a discussion from somebody down the table that Brandiscar Prison has sort of there's a new commander that's coming in to the area to take over for the previous commander, and that there's discussion that they're going to reopen up the prison, which has been closed since the unfortunate incident about a month ago. But other than that, I mean, it was really just kind of general discussion. You feel like it sounds like to the town, business is back as normal, and there's nothing to worry about, and they're under the glorious rule of Talengard, which takes good care of them, and everybody is good people.
Okay. Is there a bard or anybody playing any music or anything?
There isn't. So unfortunately, it must be only for the night crowd that he shows up. There's a cover charge tonight and all that other good stuff.
I'll go over to the little stage or whatever they have and kind of sit and play my horn.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah, sounds good. So you kind of sit down and start to play a little diddle. Wow. So as you kind of play your performance there, you see that over the next several minutes, pretty much, you're kind of doing your thing, not really paying attention, just kind of enjoying the music and whatnot. And at one point you look up and you see the entire bar is looking at you. And they're sort of enthralled with this song that you're playing. And you can see them just kind of watching, and there's really no talking in the entire place. And you see Tetsuo is sort of eyeing you with that look of like, that's a really beautiful song, but should you really be playing like that? As you finish up, you hear the entire bar starts clapping and whatnot, and you even see that some people have come in off the street, and there's probably about 40 people in there now. bartender comes over and kind of puts his hand on your shoulder and he says, "My God, that's the best music I've heard ever. Please come back tonight."
Well, I think
Way to be
I'm
subtle.
busy this evening, but I thought I would blow out the pipe. Haven't played it in quite some time.
What is your name?
You could just call me Frank.
I'm Flint Fireshield. Frank, I will never forget you. Please, where are
And
you-
this is the tavern
owner.
page, or the owner? Yeah.
Yeah, it's the tavern owner, and he's like, "That's beautiful. Please tell me, what is the horn that you play?"
It's just something I picked up north. It's an old elven horn.
Well, it's beautiful. Hey, drinks on me. And he kind of comes over and he brings over a big tankard of ale, and he brings also what appears to be a bunch of fruits and vegetables that are there that look like they were freshly picked, and he gives them to you and he says, "Man, please, could you play us one more song?"
I'll go ahead and play a second song.
All right, gotcha. So as you do, obviously it's just as good as the other one, and as you're there, you see that he kind of, as you're playing, he opens up the doors and the windows that are here, and you do see there's like now people kind of looking in at you and hearing this this sort of beautiful music that you're playing, and you seem to be quite the hit in the town at this point.
What people don't understand is that I'm playing a little song called "Rock Me Asmodeus."
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, they have no clue though, right? Because they all worship Mitra and they have no idea what this song is. So
Yeah.
has that sort of sort of sultry undertone to it, right? That they're not used to.
Yeah.
Yeah, rock of the '50s. So as you kind of finish up the song, you do see that. Obviously there's people coming in, and you can kind of hear people coming over and just generally chatting with you, and kind of fawning over you and whatnot. And one of the persons even says, "Hey, I'll if you want, you can stay at the inn for free tonight. I'd be happy. I'll even pay you."
I think my companion and I have other plans. We are moving on through town. We're just passing through.
And then you hear Flint say, No, I found him first. He stays at my tavern, not at your inn." And there's kind of like this bickering that goes back and forth between the two of them. They sort of half heard you.
I lean over to Tetsulu.
Yep.
These sheeple.
Yeah, right, exactly. He kind of nods. The rest of the party, you guys are kind of hanging out waiting for them to come back, or?
Yep, I'm not going into town.
Alrighty, gotcha.
Yep, I'm just packing.
Alrighty, okay. So you guys continue to pack.
I'm pressing my face against the sheets to see if I can make a duplicate.
You do make a duplicate. Yeah, it looks just like you. It's like how they do the spray water on the sidewalk to make pictures, right? So as you guys, Sue and Tetsulo, as you're kind of there and walking through the town, you do see that, which is different than when you were there before, but there are, this town seems to be very busy in trading. There are several ships that are along the river there. Most of them are longboats, river boats that you see, but several of them do appear to be seaworthy. That's here. You do see now, too, as well, that you're kind of here during the daylight. You do see off to the distance what it looks like where the land sort of drops off, probably 10 or 15 miles from the city down to where the sea is at. And you can see it's kind of open expanse past that, just before the horizon. The river does empty out to the sea.
Okay. We'll walk around a little bit and go down to the port and such and check on the boat from afar. And then also, before we head back to the manor, we'll make sure that nobody's paying attention to us or notices us.
Gotcha. So for the first 30 minutes or so, you have a pretty big entourage that's sort of following you, and a lot of them are sort of, kind of like, play me another tune, please play another song. And as you continue to kind of meander through the town and whatnot over the next hour or so, the people sort of peel off as they see that you're not playing another song. And eventually, there's a few kids that are kind of chasing you as you kind of move along the river to kind of examine the boat from afar to see what's going on. And eventually you're able to lose them throughout the streets, and they just kind of get bored and go do their thing. So as you walk by, you see that the Frosthammer is there. It's obviously a single-masted ship, has that square sail that's there. You do see that it's kind of pretty wide, and the hull does look deep. Looks like it's sort of built to carry cargo. On the top, you see that there are definitely boxes that are there and crates. None of them are necessarily labeled that are there right currently. And you see there's large tarps, essentially, or large canvas that covers several of the boxes that are there as well. You see that the crew is continuing to move it on. They are human. However, you recognize that these are sort of the Northmen. They kind of lived up near the wall area, as you recognize that from being from Alden, the area around Alden Cross. They do definitely not sort of, you can tell the difference between the southern folk that are here. So it's pretty obvious. The ship looks like it's built well and looks like it can hold up for a lot. But again, you don't see any sort of a structure that you would be able to sleep in. You see the wheel is exposed, the entire deck is exposed. So it looks like it's not going to be a very pleasant ride nonetheless.
Can I get an idea of how many crew are there?
So as you look, you do see that it appears that he has a crew of about 6 to 8. It's hard to tell as they kind of keep moving back and forth, and you're not sure if any would stay here, but that appears to be about how many are there. They are all human. You do see the captain. The captain has this sort of this dirty blondish brownish hair, light brown hair. It's kind of stringy and whatnot, and he does have a mustache that is sort of comes down on almost like two handlebars that hang down about halfway to mid chest, and they've got some wraps around him, and then he has a nice long goatee that also hangs down about the same distance there.
Okay.
Definitely looks kind of grizzled, definitely an older gentleman, and he has that sort of that look that he has done lots of deals and is very wise and difficult to kind of pull the wool over type of thing. Been around the block or on quite a few times. And you can kind of hear him kind of sort of yelling out commands to his crew, and the crew definitely does what he asks. So. Eventually, you're able to get back to the manor. It's getting to be close to, late afternoon, early evening at this point.
Just about time to head out, Itchy. Are you ready?
Yep, I'm ready. And I'll come into the room. My pockets are just full with, whatever food that I can find.
So pretty much overflowing.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a long trip. Got to be prepared.
Greg, I'm looking for an outfit that would cover me, hiding my face, covering my hands and stuff. That makes me look as much like a small child as I can.
Gotcha. So they do have, as you've kind of had the time to look around, you do see kids kind of running through the street. You do notice that the kids in town here seem to have Exactly kind of what you described. They're sort of gloves where the fingers are cut off, if you can think of that, that they wear. They're not thick or anything. They're more to keep their hands from getting kind of scratched up and whatnot as they play. And then you do see that some of them have cloaks. Usually their cloak is down so you can see their head, but some of the kids will tuck it over and kind of run around and play with the hoods up.
Okay, I'll try and get the slaves to help me get that outfit put together.
Okay, all right. So they do the best that they can. As you guys have been watching the ship being loaded, you see that they have been loading box upon box and crate upon crate. And over the day, you've seen that the ship has gone from riding very high in the water to a very low riding in the water itself. You suspect likely that they've probably loaded anywhere between 60 to 70 crates onto that ship.
I let the party know also that there's no real cover on the ship, so we might need cold weather gear.
I'll tell my slave to find me and my brothers some cold weather gear, sized appropriately.
They nod and quickly leave the room. In about maybe 30 minutes or so, they come back and they have what looks like sort of woven furs that are there. They have some hats that are also designed for that. They have gloves, thick boots of various sizes for you all, which they felt was most likely appropriate. So you all can be considered to have winter gear that will protect you under a pretty significant cold.
I'm putting mine on now.
All right, so you put it on, and mind you, the temperature's about almost 90 degrees out in the southern parts of this island. So, but you get it all on there, and you're all dressed up in your winter gear.
I'm ready.
All right, sounds good, Squeeze. So you get some as well. I assume everybody else does this as well.
Yep. I grabbed some.
Okay, gotcha.
Is it in the thing there? No, it isn't.
No, I don't have. I can put something in there. So
Okay.
Are we bringing that Smash Cobra? Want me to get that?
Oh yeah, wasn't that like adamantine or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't Itchy our pack mule?
No.
all right, there's 6 of them in there.
I only carry my brothers.
I'm dragging and dropping the quantity. It doesn't seem to be adding it to my character.
There you go.
Okay, I got it now.
So the picture's going to be shared again. So as you guys have been watching them load up the ship out there, you do recognize that that is the captain. So you all kind of know what he looks like.
Yep, Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk. Going to the wall to the north. To winter. So it is about dusk or evening at this point. You see that they have stopped loading the ship probably an hour or two ago. You do see that several of them are sitting on the ship. The captain is, you've seen him go down below and has been working sort of into the bottom doing something or another, and but you see the rest of the crew up on the top. You see nobody from the manor has gone out to the ship at all. What'd y'all like to do?
Well, I think we'll probably just grab a bite to eat and then wait till it's time to leave.
Okay, sounds good. So you guys go down. They have like little sort of finger food and snacks down at the dining area that's there. And I guess the question is are you wanting to leave tonight before morning, or are you going to leave in the morning?
Oh, tonight.
Okay. So as you guys get some food and to eat and whatnot, it definitely becomes dark outside. You see that some people in the manor are now starting to sort of retire for the night and whatnot. You haven't seen Cardinal Thorn or Master Thorn, and you haven't seen Theodora pretty much all day since you last had checked on them. The other Elise's group is gone as well.
Do we know how they left? Did they go by boat or somewhere else?
Yeah. So they, you saw them leave on horseback, and you saw them leave out towards the west.
I'm ready. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Yep.
All right. So as you all go out of the manor itself, you do have the cover of darkness. You're all dressed appropriately, except for Harry, who's like in full winter gear, wearing his parka. You see sweat dripping off his hands as he walks. His makeup is now dripping down his face. You get over to the ship, and as you start to walk towards it, you see one of the crewmen kind of goes over and walks to the bow of the ship and opens up the trap door that's at the front and says something down, and you see the captain kind of comes up and kind of looks to you, and as he does, you see he's obviously got scars across his face as you get a little bit closer. And he's kind of that wiry beard that he's there, but he's definitely got stout shoulders. Looks like he's definitely has traveled the seas many times. And he looks to you and he says, "You're gonna guard our boat all the way to the north, yeah?"
Yep.
He looks to you, Harry, and as he says that, he kind of grunts. And I'll take you to the accursed north, past hope and life, of course. Get on my ship.
Hop on.
Alrighty. So you kind of walk onto the ship. As you get on there, you see that there's really not a whole lot of room for much. You do see that obviously there's some crates that are there that have tarps over them. You do see that the trapdoor is open, and underneath you see there's crates in there as well that have boxes that are the crates are emblazoned with what looks like a flaming axe on the side of it. And you see even the crates, if you kind of walk by and look under the canvas, these crates on top of the deck of the ship also have this on there, but the canvas is able to cover that. As he does that, you do see he has 6 other crewmen that are on the ship with him. They're all human. They do have that sort of that northern Northman sort of look to them as well. Once you're on the ship, they quickly throw off the lines and kind of push off. You see that the 6 crewmen kind of sit down and sort of row the boat to kind of get the boat turned into the river, and they start heading out towards the sea to the east with the captain steering the ship. He doesn't say much as he does that, but you do kind of see that he's sort of a master of his crew here. They've worked together for a long time, and they quickly and efficiently get you down the river and start to leave the town itself.
So where do we sleep?
He looks to you and he says, "On the deck, of course, just like my crew."
All right, I find a spot and go dump all of our clothes, well, except for Harry's, some winter clothes, and make like this little like pile,
All right.
like a cuddle pile.
Nest.
Right. Yeah, nest.
Yes.
Sounds good. So you make this this pile there, and he kind of watches as you do that, and he's like, "Oh, all right. That's an interesting place for your pile."
Captain,
Yes.
how long will this journey take, do you think?
So he looks at you and he says, "Month, maybe, few weeks.
Okay.
Depends on winds and the tides."
Are we making port anywhere on the way, or are we just heading straight there?
I'm not sure it'd be very smart for us to make port, do you? I think that our cargo would be investigated.
Yes. I wasn't
Cargo.
sure if you knew any smuggler ports or anything like that on the way that we might be.
Well, we may, from time to time, bring our ship up to shore and grab some food or some drink, but for the most part, this will be your home.
Facilities, or are we crapping in a Home Depot bucket?
Oh yeah, no, that's over the edge, man. There's no facilities on this ship. We're all men. We'll be all right.
How tall's the walls?
So to answer that question, the gunnels on the ship are probably about 3.5, 4 feet high.
Not gonna make it.
As you continue down the river there, you do see that the crewmen row the ship down the river itself. Kind of help steering it, obviously, in the back of the ship is the captain as you move through. It takes about an hour or so to get down the river, and then once you're out into the open sea, you see that they store the oars to the side of the ship, strap them down, they put up the sail, and they then use the wind to help steer them as they get out to the sea.
Are those on the ship that you put up there with the map? Are those like bundles of stuff? The brown squares?
They are. Yep. They use.
I want to spend as much time as I can every day up on the bundle next to the steering to the oar.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, that's you see that the crates that they have on the ship with the canvas over them, they use them as sort of impromptu seats or benches for when they're rowing or when the captain's up there to kind of sit down, so that way he doesn't have to stand. Yep, the entire time. The captain kind of sort of continues to work through it, and you see now that they're back out on sea. You see that the several of the crew members sort of lay down on the deck itself. They have a small bedroll that they sort of lay out, or have some blankets and whatnot. And several of them start immediately sort of snoring. And when they snore, it's like buzzsaws. It sounds like it's super loud, and obviously makes it difficult to sleep for people that are not used to that noise.
What time of year is this?
So here it's summertime, so
Okay.
kind of I guess late summer is what I would say. So it's definitely comfortable. You don't need your winter gear at this point.
When I go to sleep, I cast deafness on myself.
Deafness. Nice. Sounds good. So you do that, and you don't hear a thing.
I go digging Itchy's ear and grab some earwax and stuff in mine.
All right, gotcha. So yeah, you dig out Itchy's ear.
And so now Itchy can hear just fine,
Yeah.
and you can't.
I'm just gonna cuddle up in the goblin nest.
All right, sounds good.
Are you still wearing your winter gear?
Yep.
So now,
At
yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
I was just gonna say at night I'll play my horn.
Oh, nice.
I'll pull out the horn from the Ernst guards that I picked up, and I'll join him.
Oh my goodness. So, Sue, you do that, and Itchy immediately starts playing, and
Let's see what you got.
oh.
This is going to be brilliant.
Squee, what you doing, buddy? Oh man.
Ooh.
So, Sue, you play probably the worst music you've ever played. I don't know if it's the rocking of the boat or what's going on, but it's not to your standards at all.
I get seasick and throw up in my horn.
Yeah. However, Itchy gives you a whole new meaning to really not very good.
Does it drown out the snoring though?
Yeah, it does, but it sort of is this weird combination of snoring sound and now your music, which makes it pretty unbearable.
During the night, there's 3 suicides that jump overboard.
Yeah, right. It's a lot of birds.
I'm going to stay up out of the big people's way on that bundle of stuff up there.
Okay.
I drew my circle from where I'm at.
All right. Sounds good.
Did you get my roll okay?
I did. Yep. Sorry. So you're able to kind of curl up there without any issues and do quite well. In the you hear the captain kind of mentions to one of the crew members. He's like, "Why did they bring a dang kid?" So as you guys are kind of sleeping throughout the night, does anybody do a watch, or you just all go to sleep?
I'm sleeping.
All right.
I'm sleeping.
All right.
I'm
No,
sleeping.
nobody said anything about
I'll watch.
watches.
Okay.
I figured these guys were watching. You're paying them, right?
I'll pretend to be sleeping, but I'm going to lay there and listen to anybody that's close to me.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Solix will take the first watch, and Tetsalu will take the next.
Alrighty, gotcha. Did anybody take the sailor background, or has a background in sailing at all, or anything in their background story about it?
Didn't Ball say he was a pirate,
I thought so.
or that
I
he
said
wants to be a pirate?
I want to be a pirate.
He wants to be a pirate. So, as you guys try to sleep through the night, you know, unfortunately, the open deck of the ship, there's no shelter, so there's a lot of sea spray that kind of comes up onto the ship deck. The deck is perpetually wet. As you lay there, you start all your stuff starts to get wet, including your nest. So even for like Itchy and Harry and Balls, you guys are used to sort of having a nest, but usually it's dry. So it's pretty miserable night. Didn't get a lot of sleep with the ship rocking back and forth. Was pretty rough, to be honest with you. So not kind of what you had expected. You guys do your watch. You make it through the night without any difficulties. The ship does have fresh water barrels that are there and provisions, which they kind of, yeah, right, that they have there for you. So, but the provisions are less than desirable. So it's sort of a food that has a very pungent smell to it, and you can kind of smell it throughout, and you immediately recognize that they have this gelatinous fish, which is called lutefisk.
Nope, I'm eating eggs and bacon.
Alrighty, sounds good. And so you do see that they eat that while they're there. You guys continue kind of up the coastline here. You're far enough off the coastline that you don't really get intertwined with a lot of the fishing boats that are there, but you're close enough to the coast that you can continue to follow that as you travel. As this continues, you see that the captain runs a very tight ship. He does very good. The crew, he doesn't need to give them a lot of direction. They kind of already know what they're doing. So every once in a while, he'll give a certain direction. You do have a day, about a half a day, where it did rain pretty heavily throughout the day. During that time, again, you found out that really there's not a lot of cover and everything is pretty soaked. And then it sort of dries out and it gets really hot on the ship when you're there as well. You peek down underneath obviously the deck to see what's in kind of down in the underside of it, and you see that it's packed with just tons of crates. There's not a whole lot of room down there, to be honest with you, and even down there, the water drips through the boards and kind of drips in there. So it's pretty miserable. No real good place where you can kind of hide it during all of this.
Squee, what's in the boxes? Have you looked?
I haven't looked. I've stayed up on my perch most of the time. I do toddle around though on the deck some.
Okay. Yeah, we can do that, Balls. I think that's a good idea. So, how about some con saves? You guys can all thank Balls for this.
Thanks, balls.
Sorry, con save.
Yes, please. All right. Well,
I hope Balls is the only one who failed.
no, actually, he's not, to be honest.
We're missing some.
Yeah, I got them. Yep, they were in the tower. So as you guys kind of continue, especially with the storm, Sue, you get pretty sick and sort of retching over the side for several hours. You hear the captain sort of snicker.
Harry, get a bucket for Sue. Can't let that good child go to waste.
Oh, good call. I'll run around looking for a bucket.
So they have buckets. I mean, buckets for either a fire that occurs or if they obviously have to bail the ship. So there's lots of buckets.
Or poo.
Yep, poo. So you grab a bucket. Go ahead and just give me a random d20 roll. Perfect. So Harry, you take a bucket over there, and Sue, as he puts the bucket underneath you, it actually is filled with kind of like diarrhea feces that's in there, and he gives it to you, and you try to go to puke in it, and that aroma kind of comes up into your face.
I push him away and throw the bucket overboard.
Your captain goes, "Hey, that's a good bucket."
I'd make him go get it.
Damn landlubbers.
We need strings on the buckets.
If I was a captain.
He says, "You're not the captain. You're a passenger. You're a mercenary. You're here to protect the goods.
Yeah, I want to be a pirate.
You're never going to be a pirate. You're too small. You don't have sea legs."
He'd be a better pirate captain than you.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, watch my pirate dance.
He doesn't really say anything. He just kind of keeps steering the ship. He looks over to you.
We get on the bale next to
Squeak?
Squee and pretend like I'm captaining.
You see, he just kind of shakes his head. And you see that he's about to say something, and he just kind of sort of bites his lip and continues to steer the ship. The rest of the crew sort of talk, but they now talk in a dialect that none of you have really recognized before. And not sure if, well, actually, Sue, you would recognize this as sort of a northern dialect that's there. That they're kind of talking about, but there's sort of a twist to it. So you don't know if they've kind of made their own little code that they can talk in, but they're now kind of communicating back and forth in a language that you don't see. And the captain sort of snickers a little bit and smiles, and he nods as they're kind of talking back and forth.
I'm gonna go back to the nest and do a comprehend language ritual.
All right, sounds good.
Do I get that they're talking about us, or
Yeah,
I mean, I would assume.
That's the general idea that you get. So, all right. So, Harry, you kind of go back and sort of do your little ritual that's there. And so they kind of continue to talk and whatnot back and forth.
I am trying to make myself as insignificant in the captain and anybody else tilling the ship as possible during this trip.
Yeah, they've kind of already forgotten about you, to be honest with you. So they, you've kind of been just sort of sitting on the bundle. You don't really think that you're of any significant worth to them for trying to manage the ship and whatnot. So, it's exactly what you want. So they think you're pretty much a kid. And as they're kind of talking back and forth, all of a sudden the crew starts kind of laughing and snickering and whatnot. And the captain, this was after the captain said something, he's got a big grin on his face.
Hey, Harry, Itchy. Itchy, balls.
What?
We gotta do watch tonight.
Why?
Just trust me, we gotta do watch tonight. We gotta keep our eyes out.
Okay.
I want to keep my eyes in.
Oh yeah, eyes in, looking out.
So as you guys kind of continue along, the first so you go throughout the night, Harry, with you guys take a watch. Is that right?
Yeah.
Gotcha. So you guys sort of set up your watches that you do there secretly. You see that the crew continues to work through the night without any concern or difficulties at all. Obviously, the captain switches out too. From occasion, the captain does go down below from time to time. It looks like he's more comfortable sort of underneath the deck of the ship, even though he's just kind of laying up against the curved side as he sleeps with his head against one of the boxes that's there. So, but the crew does. Nothing happens throughout the night, and you guys continue on your way through the waters. This travels for quite a bit of a time. I mean, probably about a week or a week and a half you're on the ship, kind of moving across the seas. You feel that you've covered quite a bit of distance, just so that you're aware, Sue. I know that you were kind of curious, so where you'd be at. So generally speaking, on the map itself, if you still have the map open, you'd be somewhere in that general vicinity there is where you'd be looking at.
Okay.
All right. As the day comes up, you do see that it's a kind of a sunny day that's there. You continue to kind of coast along the you kind of coast along the coastline, and you do see the fishing ships and things like that. And you do see from time to time, some fishermen will kind of sort of get closer to the ship. Or the ship will kind of get close to them or whatnot, and you always see the fishermen will smile and wave, and you see Captain Odenkirk always also smiles back and waves, almost as if they know each other.
Smile and wave, boys. Smile and wave.
That's right. He kind of looks to you and he says, "Yeah, Wouldn't want him to get suspicious, would you? You're pretty smart. And it continues to go and to travel up the coastline there. As you get towards the city of Daveroon, you can see kind of the inlet that's there on the map itself. You see what looks like a large city sort of sitting up on the bluffs of the rocks that are there. And you see that it's very a big bustling port. You see there's some large seaworthy ships, probably ones that travel across the seas to the other continent of Greyhawk. So you do see that as you kind of come by, and you see birds and whatnot. And here, Squee, no worries, man, I got you. And so as you do, he kind of looks and says, the great city of Daveroon, the largest center of the civilization along the west coast. It's a big city, isn't it? Nice town. I like to stop there from time to time.
Anything special there?
Some great bars, great drinks. Fortunately, no brothels. Those have been gone for quite some time. It's too bad. I missed the day of the brothels.
The Church of Mithrid got rid of them.
Yeah, they did. What a shame. But we all know that we follow Mitra now, right? We're all goody-goody two-shoes.
I just looked down at my medallion.
He smiles. He says, you may want to keep that covered when you're out and about, you know.
I thought we had to wear it out.
That's a good way to die.
Being Northmen, do you ever have any prejudices or anything when you enter these larger cities?
Well, you know that nothing is sent up to the north and they just take from us. So, of course, there's a little bit of prejudice, but don't worry. We take from them, too, just in other ways. I got many kids all around, I gotta promise you. The north will take over the south soon enough. It's unfortunate this isn't a pleasure cruise, otherwise we'd head in there, but I'm not going to let this cargo get within a mile of any Tellurian harbor master. Wouldn't you agree?
Yep.
Yeah, that'd be a bad idea.
With that, you see that the ship continues to move along the coast, and you see Daverin kind of disappears behind you. Just as you kind of come around the edge there, you see that there's a large contingent of fishing boats that are at the opening of the opening of the God, I can't think of the name of the bay. Thank you. That is there and whatnot. As you do, you see many of the ships are kind of moving out and about. How about perception check from everybody?
Oh, man, I have to drag that thing into my hot bar.
Yeah, you're going to need to probably.
Oh, well. Let's see, perception.
So you guys see that a lot of the fishermen, again, waving to you guys, and everybody else is sort of waving to them, and quite a few ships, probably about 25 or 30 fishermen that are out there.
Since I am trained in thieves' cant, is it possible that I might notice if they're giving any signs or something to others?
That's a great. I'm glad you asked that. So as you kind of watch to see, obviously you are very fluent, and thieves can't know the general subtleties that you can see. You see that this is there's no sort of signals that are here. You don't see anything that would pass along as thieves can't. You do feel that he's probably just trying to hold up the disguise that we're all friends here and trying to not get attention towards you.
Okay, so no signals being given that I can tell.
Right. Exactly.
We should probably stay away from that ship over there.
As you say that, the captain kind of looks and you kind of point in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as you guys look, you see that there's a smaller ship that Harry immediately points at, and it's a single-masted ship, but it's got a full-rigged sail on it that's about 30 feet long or so. And on there, you see there's about 13 men aboard the ship. There appear to be a dozen sailors or so and captain. The thing with this, though, is these are not fishermen. They're dressed in armored shirts or leather shirts that you see with some of them. There's a large symbol of Talonguard that's on the sail itself, and you see that they are kind of pointing in your direction, and the ship seems to be sort of on an intercept course. Captain goes, damn it.
How far away are they?
They're probably about 300 or 400 feet from this point.
Oh, okay.
So the captain says, they're going to catch us for sure. The Frosthammer can't outrun it with being overloaded like this. Damn, one look at our cargo and they'll know exactly what we're here for. Freaking weapon smugglers.
If they start getting close, we'll take care of them.
You got them?
Yeah, we got them.
You sure?
Sure.
Try to be subtle.
Subtle is our middle name.
Okay.
So you see the ship continues to sort of approach and is on an intercept. Definitely is faster than your ship and is starting to overtake it. So at what distance are you thinking about doing things?
I, right now, will pull out my heavy crossbow and go to the side where it's coming from and get ready.
Alrighty, sounds good.
I will do the same thing, except for I don't use a heavy crossbow. I'll pull out this strange-looking thing. I'm stuffing stuff down the barrel and things like that.
Alrighty, so you guys see he has this large metal tube and has like some contraptions on it and whatnot, and there's a sort of a wooden stock to the end of it, and he's ramming some stuff inside this tube, and there's all kinds of stuff that is very interesting appearing. So let me get you all on the map.
May I take some of those crossbow bolts that's in the party sheet?
Yeah. I didn't mean to move all of these, but I did.
Because I only had 5.
Wow, that's a problem.
I've got some.
I have enough now, thanks.
Let me do the talking.
Oh, wait. Are we talking?
I can. I
Drown?
can.
Sounds like you're drowning.
I can distract him. Just let him get within 60.
Yeah, I could set their ship on fire.
Right, but if we attack the ship in broad daylight with all these other ships around, we're made for sure. I think I might have an ability to make the captain leave us alone altogether.
I was gonna make a water storm.
So at about maybe 150, 200 feet from the kind of behind the ship as they're trying to overtake it, you hear the sailors yelling, "Heave to, in the name of the king! Heave to!" Captain Odenkirk looks at you all and he says, "What do you want me to do?"
Well, you said we can't outrun them, so either we attack them and try to destroy them in the ship right here, or I might potentially be able to get the captain to just leave us alone and sail away.
He kind of says, "Yeah, I don't want to lose my ship." He says, yells out, "Aye, we're heaving now," and you see the crew kind of runs around and starts pulling up the sail. The ship
Does,
starts to slow.
does Squee look like a child?
He does.
I will look like Squee.
Okay, alrighty. So you now look like a child as well.
I look like Squee too.
Alrighty. You look like a child as well.
You're supposed to look like me, who looks like Squee.
Oh yeah, I look like Itchy.
If the party gives me the opportunity, as soon as we're within talking range of the ship, I'll move to the end of the ship that the other captain would be near, and I'll talk to him for about a minute.
Okay.
And as I do this, I just infuse my words with seemingly innocent words, but they have an insidious magic that'll inspire terror into him.
Okay.
And I give him the feeling that there's some imminent attack on the port of Davern, and that we are, Jedi mind trick. We're not the droids you're looking for, type of thing.
Gotcha. So okay, that sounds good. So you see that the ship, as obviously the captain brings down the sail here, and the ship sort of comes to rest in the ocean here, not really moving except with the tide. You do see that the ship that's going around, and it does have some writing on the side. It's called the Blade of the Saint Martis, as the kind of the name of the ship. You see that it keeps its distance about 100 feet or so away. You do see that the crew members on the along the ship's gunnel do have longbows that are there. They're not pointed at you, but you see that they have longbows that are drawn in their hands, pointing down towards the deck. And they slowly kind of make a circle around the ship, sort of just eyeing it to see what's going on when that happens. And do you want them to be fairly close, or I mean, what kind of distance are you looking at?
Well, I need to be able to speak with the captain for a minute.
Gotcha. Okay. So what you see is they kind of come up to the bow of the ship of you. It's about 100 feet away, and you see they do have a small dinghy on the back. And they sort of lower the dinghy, and you see that 4 sailors get into the dinghy, and the captain as well, and they start to make their way towards your ship.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess
Couldn't you start talking to them when they're like 100 feet away?
If that's what you wanted to do, you definitely could.
Well, it does kind of say I need to speak to him, and I need to actually, like, I'm trying to see these paranoid. It's not like a suggestion spell. I need to actually convince him that there's something wrong. So I don't know what you
Yeah, I mean,
want to do on it.
I think if you wanted to have a discussion with him as appearing to be normal, right, like a normal discussion,
Yeah.
I think that's probably you would not want to be yelling, across the sea to him.
Right.
So, I mean, you could do it. I would probably have it at a disadvantage if you were to do it that way, or you can have him approach the ship and take it at a normal.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Real quick, does Itchy still have her knee pop?
No, it should be off.
Probably not.
Well, I can wipe out that small boat.
Well, we just spilled the wind from our sails, so you made this idea up. It's your fault.
Want me to take him out in the little boat? How close is he now, Greg?
They're about 60 feet.
All right. He gets to about 60. I'll start casting it now.
Okay, alrighty, gotcha. So, we're going to kind of put the boat there. I don't have a map that's 60 out, but we're going to say they're about 60. Let's see, let me get the sailors that are in there. Boarding. So you kind of see them coming across. The the captain seems to be pretty well relaxed in the ship. You see that the sailors that are, 2 of them are rowing the dinghy across. The other 2 are kind of there. They again have bows that are there, but they don't have them drawn necessarily. You do see the other ship, the sailors are kind of talking back and forth. Definitely would have surprise if you did anything here. They appear to be not really super suspicious of anything. They're just kind of coming over to kind of see what the situation is.
I'm gonna take out a little Just peering over, I'm gonna take out a little bit of dust and create a dust devil
Okay.
right on top of the captain.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Because it says, well, I'll ram it into the captain. I'll create it right in front of him and then ram it into him. And so moves over sand, dust, loose dirt, light gravel. It sucks up the material and forms a 10-foot radius cloud of debris. I don't know, it may pick up mist. That's up to you. If it does, it's like heavily obscured.
I gotcha. Okay. Alrighty. So I think it would probably pick up some of the mist, but I don't know if it would cause the obscuring. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree.
So you're gonna drop that on them. Well, I'll just have you all roll for initiative just in case.
I'm gonna put it like in front of him and then have it kind of wind up into him.
Alrighty, gotcha. And then are you just gonna have it follow them as they're in the ship or the little dinghy, or?
Yeah, it's gonna like go across him and then come back and like stay with him. You know what? I'll put it behind him and have it come up the back of him. Wait, it's not so obvious. It's not like changing forms. Well, this will be that guy.
Okay.
Is a crew of all females?
Yep.
Oh man, I shouldn't be attacking. Come aboard.
So that's the only picture I had actually. So, all right. So go ahead and do your attack on that. Is anybody else doing anything otherwise?
Yeah, if he's casting, then I will sling a bolt at the captain on the dinghy.
Okay.
I don't know if that hit or not, Greg.
I missed the roll. Sorry, I have kind of a mess over here. So just give me a minute. So it failed. The soldier failed the roll.
I'll
Right.
just follow him.
Okay, gotcha. So as that happens, you see there's definitely chaos on that small dinghy as this sort of water spout kind of hits up against them, and or this dust, the circling of wind, and it kind of hits them, and you hear the captain kind of looks back to see what's happening. The rest of you, if there's anything you'd like to do, you can do it.
I want to sling at the captain on the dinghy.
Okay.
I'm acting innocent.
I think we're beyond that.
I think you're beyond that now too.
Well, I'm just still acting innocent because I didn't know.
That's all right, no worries.
And I'm going to use my last strong poison.
All right.
I'll cast Fairy Fire on him.
Alrighty, sounds good. So it's a hit, or a squee, sorry.
And it's an automatic crit.
Correct. They are surprised. They did not expect to be attacked.
So my question is, on a crit, does the poison do the crit damage as well,
Yep.
or not?
It does.
Alright, so let's see if the poison has an effect first.
Nope.
I gotta work on my poisons, man.
They gotta work on their rolls. Their rolls are really good.
And this should give me an automatic crit on it, right?
Yep. I got the crit.
Oh, I gotta click on that, don't I?
Yeah, you gotta click on the crit button. So are the rest of you surprised then?
I am,
All right.
because I thought that,
Yep, I thought somebody was going to talk to him.
yeah.
Yeah, you got to talk to your boys.
So kind of hit them all with fairy fire. So they're all, I think they all failed, didn't they? Yeah, every single one.
Looks like it, yeah.
Yeah, so they're all lit up.
And then I'll move back.
Okay. So as that happens, you hear Captain Cargill goes, "Well, that's one way to do it."
Can I, for the surprise round,
Yeah.
drop my crossbow and draw my axes, since apparently we are now gonna fight them.
You're in the thick of it. Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind. The ship is so small that I'm not going to lock tokens, because unless you're getting off the ship, you would be able to easily move to wherever you needed to move to. So, yep, you can. Now, the other ship is 100 feet away. So it would put you within a 100-foot range if you decide to take shots. As they see that happen, the remaining sailors obviously see their captain is being shot at. And that's just their markers on the side there. They're on the ship, on their other ship, on the other side. All right. Let's go ahead and we're going to advance to the second round here. So you immediately see that the captain now has, Captain Samuel has sort of gotten the wits about him, as well as the sailors on the ship. Squee, you are up again. Thanks, Balls.
Thanks, Balls, for the roll. I'll take a second shot at the captain in the dinghy.
All right. That's a hit.
It should have been a disadvantage. Why didn't it do it that way?
You have an advantage as well for something?
Fairy fire.
Oh, fairy fire, that's right.
Oh, right, okay.
So that's a hit?
But no sneak attack this time.
Correct. Nice.
And I'm going to duck down behind the captain
All right, sounds good.
and try and hide.
All right. So, sailor number 20. That's interesting. All right. So, Itchy, sailor number 20, takes a shot at you with the longbow. With the gunnels that are there, though, it's at disadvantage. And it misses. The sailor on the ship that's here immediately starts to turn the dinghy around and starts rowing back towards their ship. Actually, I think I'm going to do it just like this. So this one is also going to take a shot. This one's now going to be at Harry. Harry, that also be at disadvantage because of the gunnel. Misses. Super.
Now, how far away are those guys?
The ones on the left side of the ship are 100 feet away.
Okay.
The ones in the boat are 60 feet away in the dinghy.
Oh, they're 60 feet away?
Yep. Right? Isn't that when you fired your thing off, Harry?
Yeah, when they got 60 away, I was trying to make them think that they got hit by a water spout, but
Oh, sorry.
the arrows and stuff.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna pretend like, hey, look out, there's a water spout.
And then an arrow comes in and hits them, or a rock, or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna cast sleep on the
right.
boat.
Sounds good.
Hey, that thing could have been thrown up by the water spout, you know.
Could have. 26. All right, let me see where they're at here. So the one that's underneath the spout definitely is out. I think the captain is too. I just have to find the captain in this huge list of people here. She's all the way down at the bottom. So let's see. That would be... No, just the one is out, number 3.
And that's it. I'll kind of hunker down. I'll kneel down so that I have some good cover behind the gunnel.
Okay, sounds good. So that is the one that's asleep. The sailors here, they immediately start working on the ship, trying to drop the sail so they can start to get some speed. 26 takes another shot. This time it's going to be at one of the sailors that is there. He hits. You see the sailor immediately kind of dives down. Itchy.
All right, well, I'll pick my crossbow back up because I thought they were like really close.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
I was about to board their vessel.
Oh, gotcha. Sorry, I wasn't clear.
That's okay. No, that's my
All right.
misunderstanding.
Yep, that's a hit.
And then I'll duck back down under the cover.
Okay. Tetsu.
All right, Tetsu will use an Eldritch Blast
All right.
and go for the captain.
Okay.
I hate running two characters.
I know.
It always targets from the wrong guy.
It does, right? Nice, that's a hit.
And he'll duck down below the gunnel as well.
Sounds good. Alright, so the next one is take another shot at one of the other sailors. He hits. The captain is obviously steering the ship. The sailor, I'm just moving my way around the boat, or the ship, that's all I'm doing. So he takes another shot at one of the sailors and misses. This one is also rowing the ship, or the little dinghy back, working on the boat. This one takes another shot at the captain. Ooh, hits the captain. Yeah, the captain kind of swears out. He's like, "Defend the ship! Come on! I can't take shots like this." Shot at Squee.
Cargild's his first name.
Yep.
Did he see me?
Oh yeah, I forgot about your stealth roll. Thank
I
you.
was hiding behind the captain.
Yeah. Let me see what his passive perception is. Rolled a 13, I think. Yeah. Yep, he does. He sees you. His passive perception is 15.
I need new dice.
Yeah. So he takes a shot and he hits. They just keep moving around the ship. Alright. This one does take a shot. As he shoots, he tries to shoot at Itchy again because you're close. And misses. Harry.
And we yelling at him, "Look at that water spout. Look out for the water spout." I'm going to move the water spout onto the captain
Alright, sounds good.
as a bonus action.
Uh-huh. Probably can't grab it, can you?
No.
There you go. Captain
Is that-
succeeds.
Let me see. I don't know if he gets damage in that. Oh, that one guy got pushed 10 feet. I forgot about that.
Oh, really?
But he's asleep, so
yeah,
don't worry
yeah,
about
we'll
it.
just leave him in the ship.
Well, it takes half damage on it.
Alright. Is that enough? Nope, not quite enough.
And then for my action, I'll shoot him.
Alright.
I can do, oh yeah, I didn't cast the spell, I just moved it, so I can do Firebolt.
Okay. Nice, it's a hit. Nice.
Everybody get down! Get on the ground!
Are you yelling at the people on the other ship?
No, our sailors.
Oh, you're sailors. Okay, gotcha. Alrighty. So they kind of quickly kind of dive down to the deck of the ship. Balls.
I
go.
cast Create Fire on the little rowboat.
Oh, okay.
Create
alright.
bonfire on it.
Alright, gotcha. Yep, they're all packed in there, so
Well, I'm actually trying to burn the boat.
I know you are.
Whatever.
but I mean I think one of them are you gonna you're obviously trying to put it somewhere where it's not gonna get wet and put out and all that though,
Oh
right?
yeah, well, like right in the middle, I
Yeah,
guess.
so why don't you you can pick any one you want if you want to be affected by the fire because it's a pretty small ship. You can even get the captain if you wanted to. That's fine.
There you go. I put it right there in the middle.
Oh, okay, cool. Sounds good.
I might be able to get 4 of them. I don't know.
Yeah, I think you probably could.
All right. Well, let's see if I can get them. But my main thing is burning the ship.
I understand. So, yep. All right. So you definitely get them as well as the ship. So now there's a fire on the dinghy that's there. You see they immediately stop rowing as that happens, and some of them start kind of grabbing some water and trying to throw it on the little dinghy that's there.
The one's not asleep anymore either now, is it?
No.
Oh, that's the end of my turn.
All right. Sounds good. So the sailor.
And I duck. I duck behind the gunnels.
Gotcha. All right. So the sailor in the ship moves over and continues to try to tie down some of the rigging to get the sail up so you guys can go. Captain Sambrel immediately sees that the boat, the dinghy that they're on, is in pretty much trouble and doesn't do an attack and continues to try to bail water onto the fire that's there. Squee.
I will take a shot at the captain again.
Okay. Shot goes wide.
And then I'm going to duck down onto the ground behind the gunwale, behind the captain.
All right, gotcha. Sounds good.
And hiding.
Alrighty. So you see the sailors on the other ship now, seeing that the dinghy's on fire, immediately starts to work on dropping their sails. Sue, you're up.
I guess I'll fire a hand crossbow bolt at the captain.
Okay. Captain has his back to you. He's kind of throwing water on the fire, trying to get the fire to go out. Ooh, goes wide.
All right, and then I will cast inspiration on Itchy.
All right.
And that's it.
All right. So they are trying to get their ship to go over to the other side. The sailors, now that this ship also has its sail kind of rigged up, they're just finishing up and kind of ducking down. It's going to come to Itchy.
Alright, I'm gonna pop up over the edge,
Uh-huh.
shoot the captain,
Alrighty. That's a miss.
shoot at the captain,
Yep.
and then use my bonus action to duck back down and hide.
Alrighty. For 10 seconds.
Okay, I'll cast Hex on the captain,
Uh-huh.
and then I will do another Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Nice. That's a hit.
Oops, jeez.
Nice.
It would have been just the first one.
Yeah, it's alright. He would have been
6.
dead anyways.
Okay.
So you see the captain kind of collapses and sort of falls onto the fire.
And then he'll crouch back down.
Alrighty. You kind of hear the sailors all kind of yelling now as they see their captain goes down. Captain Cargill immediately starts to steer the ship towards the other ship, trying to close the distance. Harry.
My turn. All right. Their sails on the other ship are they cloth?
Yeah,
I'll shoot a firebolt at the
Nice.
mainsail.
sounds good. So I just need an attack roll. What's your distance on the firebolt? Is it 300?
Oh man, I shot wide.
Wow. Yeah. So it definitely
It was
shot
120.
wide. It's 120. Okay, gotcha. So yeah, it goes real wide.
Crash the dust devil onto this guy.
All right, sounds good.
What skill does the Dust Devil go against on a DC? Is it Dex?
Strength.
Strength. Okay.
So it fails.
It's a horrible round.
And it gets thrown 10 feet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's now in the water. Right.
Does that one identify as an it?
Yeah, yep, that's right. So, Balls, you're up. Are you still with us, Balls, or did you step away? Looks like he stepped away.
Is his boat on fire?
Boat is on fire. We'll come back to Balls later. All right, Squee, you're up again.
There's nothing worse than disadvantage, right? There's not like double disadvantage or anything.
Nope, it's all or nothing.
Super disadvantage.
Well, yeah, it could be, right?
Yeah, no, they don't. You can add 50 disadvantages. It's still just a single disadvantage.
So what are the guys on the other ship doing now?
They are rigging up their ship to try to get the ship moving, so that way they can probably come pick up the crew that's in a burning dinghy.
So they're working on trying to do sails and stuff like that?
Yep, they are. At least they were last round.
And they're 100 feet away, right?
Correct.
Alright, I want to try and shoot one of them that's doing something to, like, if he's pulling a rope, to try and make him drop the rope or something like that.
Okay, sounds good.
I'm already at disadvantage, so I might as well take a long shot and see if I can slow them down.
Sure.
I'm just going to pick one and attack it.
Yep, that'd be great. So that's a hit.
I don't know which one I dropped that one, so there.
It doesn't matter. Any of them's fine. So perfect. So you do hit him, and as it kind of hits him on the back of the neck, he kind of turns around and sees, and immediately kind of drops the rope that he's working with.
And then I'm going to drop back down and hide again.
Alrighty, sounds good.
Try to, anyway.
16 that you hit. Perfect. Sue.
All right. I will do a vicious mockery on number 3.
Okay. Hopefully that's spelled right. Sorry if it's not, Mike. All right. Nice.
And then I'll go ahead and give Harry a bardic inspiration,
Okay. Sounds good.
and then duck back down.
All right. I forgot to do a roll here for the guy that's in the water. Okay, so the sailor that's in the water is appears to having trouble swimming, and kind of goes under the water, and you see her kind of spit up some water and whatnot. She is wearing an armored shirt, which does seem to add significant weight to her, as she's obviously there. I don't think she expected to get into the water.
Take off your shirt.
The sailor in our ship now is trying to rig up the lines and whatnot. Sailor number 26. Let's see, how many do I have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. That one's also working on the other ship. Itchy.
All right, I'll just shoot at one of the other people on that small boat.
No problem.
and then duck back down.
All right, Tetelu will move his hex and do strength, disadvantage on strength saves,
Okay.
and then fire his Eldritch Blast.
Cruel. Just cruel. All right, that's a hit. Nice.
Man, if he was taking his little dealies, he could have a push right now.
Yeah, right. Alrighty. 34. Yep, he's still working on the ship. Captain's obviously steering the ship, moving closer. So, you guys are now about 40 feet away from the dinghy that's burning, and now, what is that, 80 feet away from the ship. Now that they've got their ship underway, 16 you had hit with the rope, he immediately kind of reaches over and you see him kind of pick up his longbow and kind of knocks in an arrow again. The dinghy is now fully engulfed in flames. The two that are in the ship itself are still trying to get it out, but they're having difficulty. 36 does take fire off a shot. Hits another one of the sailors.
You'd think these idiots would learn to get down behind the gun wall.
Yeah, you'd think. They're big though, that's the problem. So they're having a hard time getting down. So Harry.
Okay.
So 9's in the water drowning, 3 is dead, 17 and whichever that other number is.
I'll crash into this guy here.
Alright, gotcha. I'll move him over so you can completely get him.
And he's got disadvantage on his
Strength. That's
on
right.
his strength, so it's not programmed though, so you need to disadvantage on the save.
Okay. Or do I do it? Oh. I select disadvantage or do I select advantage?
No, you select disadvantage.
Alright.
Don't think that rolled 2.
Yeah, do it
You
again.
might drag it on it again, yeah.
Okay. I had it selected, it just didn't go.
Yeah, no worries. So that is a failure for him.
And he gets blown 10 feet off.
Yeah, so you see his body kind of gets ripped apart from the dust devil and 2 pieces fly off.
Ew.
And then, and then I'm gonna shoot at their sail again.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. Well, you've doubled your to hit there, buddy.
Harry's having a little trouble with his fire bolts.
He's been playing with it too much. It happens, I hear.
Yeah.
I don't even want to do an inspiration. I don't think I'd make it.
So how far away from the big boat? 80 feet?
80 feet, yep.
And the dinghy's still on fire.
The dinghy's still on fire. It's fully engulfed. There's one person in it. The other person is in the water, drowning, having a hard time keeping her head above water. And the dinghy is 40 feet away.
Well, I'll recast create bonfire again.
Uh-huh. I figured that's probably what you would have did last turn too.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I would have.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I don't know. They might make it, but the dinghy's going down.
Yep, yeah, the dinghy is fully engulfed. There's one person quickly trying to throw water on it, trying to get it out, but it's a futile effort.
Yep, and I duck again.
Alrighty, sounds good. Alright. Squee, you're up.
I'm gonna pop up and try and take a quick shot at the one I hit before.
Okay.
Now the question becomes, Greg, do I get advantage? Did my hide work, or is that something I just don't need to worry about?
Your hide worked.
Alright, so that offsets the disadvantage then.
Okay. Well, that works. Oh, I thought it was the 20 that you rolled.
Yeah, I wish.
I know.
I thought it was too. It looked like a 20 on the thing.
I thought it did too, because that's what I looked at was the number on the die, right?
Me too. It was a
Yep.
20 on the die.
I thought so too.
It freaking Fantasy Grounds shitted you, bud.
It cheated you.
And then I'll duck back down.
All right.
And hide.
All right. So you now see that the ship is moving head towards the dinghy. So now you are 60 feet away, and their ship is 20 feet away from the dinghy. Oh, let's see how this one does again. Probably going to be continuing to drown. Yep. So that sailor goes under the water again. And this time is completely under the water. Number 5 now takes a shot at the ship. Sue, are you trying to duck, or were you not ducking? I missed that. I'm sorry. With everybody saying they were ducking. Actually, Sue.
Yeah, Sue was ducked.
All right, gotcha. So Sue, you're
we need to make a duck freaking effect.
we do, right? So Sue, you're a little bigger than the other ones, though. So you do try to duck down. So it's not a disadvantage, but it is -5 for cover.
Yep.
And he misses with his shot. Sue, you're up.
All right. I will target number 34 and do a Dissonant Whispers.
All right.
Or not a Dissonant Whispers, Vicious Mockery.
Okay.
I think he succeeded.
He did. I'm sorry. Yep.
And what the heck? I'll go ahead and give Balls, or I'll give Squee a Bardic Inspiration.
Okay. Sounds good.
And then I will duck back down.
Yep. All right. So 26 takes a shot at Tetsumu. All right. So that misses. Itchy.
So the boat over here, you said, is exactly 15 feet away?
So the ship on the other side with all the sailors on it is 60 feet away.
Oh, darn it.
Sorry, the rowboat is, or the dinghy is 40 feet, and the ship, the other ship is only 20 feet away from their dinghy. They're trying to get to the dinghy. You can see that they're heading that way.
Gotcha. All right. I misunderstood. I thought you said
Yeah.
it was 20 feet away from
Sorry,
us.
it wasn't clear. Yeah, each ship moves 20 feet in their respective directions.
I need it to be close enough so that I can jump on it.
It's coming, don't worry.
All right. I'll shoot the other one in the dinghy then.
Nice, that's a hit.
And then I'll duck back down.
Alrighty, sounds good. Tetsumu.
He'll move his Hex over to 36.
Yeah.
And Eldritch Blast.
Alright.
Geek.
This.
And he'll duck back down.
Alrighty. So, Itchy, this one's going to take a shot at you. And, oh, man, you must not have ducked very quickly. Hit you with a longbow arrow. Captain, you now are 20 feet from the dinghy and 40 feet from the other ship. This sailor will take a shot at Harry. Where are Harry balls? Oh, uh-oh. Dice are getting hot. Can you block it?
I'll shield.
Okay, gotcha. So take off the 6 damage. Yeah, it's still a miss. Yep. All right. Number 36 will take a shot at the sailor. Hits the sailor.
How big's that big boat they're on, Greg? Is
Uh,
it
it's
the
a-
same size as ours?
It's
or-
no, it's a little bit smaller than yours, so it's probably half the size. It doesn't have any cargo or anything on it. Maybe, I guess maybe 2/3 of the size, I would say, because there's a lot of people on that ship. Now the bad thing is I don't have another ship to compare it to, so we're sort of stuck with just what we have here for a map. But...
I was just wondering if did area effects on that boat if it got multiples or.
Oh yeah, it
or
would.
what?
Yep.
Alright.
I would say they're all lined up kind of along the gunnels. So you probably get half of them. Wow. Oops, that's supposed to be at a -5, which is 13, which would have... Bear with me 1 second. I would have hit.
So all of them are shooting at us, correct?
Yep. Yeah, the only one that is not is the bowman who is driving the ship. Let's see. The sailor on the ship, actually on the dinghy, jumps off now that it's fully engulfed in flames and tries to swim. And actually he's doing okay. So he's swimming back to his colleagues. So the dinghy is empty, it's fully engulfed.
I'll so they're 20 feet away from that dinghy, so I'm gonna crash. I moved my Gust Devil 30, so I'm gonna crash it into whoever's in the front of the boat.
Yeah, just pick 2 of them, just not the bowman who's at the top. So I guess 1826 would probably be perfect if you have it targeted.
Are those the guys down there? Or?
Yeah, because we're going to say they're coming towards you, so that'll probably be the easiest way. The 2 at the bottom. Yep.
It's only a 5-foot circle, so.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
But before I do that, though, I'm gonna cast a. Well, no, I'll just do this first.
Okay.
You're going to cast.
All right.
Something similar, yeah.
That was a very amateurish burp.
He casts seasickness on them.
Yes, you see sickness. Right.
Where's that bucket?
Does that hit?
That they fail, yes.
All right, so he gets blown 10 feet.
All right, gotcha. So he's out in the water, so I'm going to put him over by this one. So that way you know who's in the water and who's not.
And then I'll cast a grease on a portion of the boat that I can get most of them.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So why don't we get the bottom
It's
4?
It's a 10-footer, so.
Okay,
And it's non-concentration.
gotcha. So let's do it's 10 foot, so let's do the bottom 2 then.
Sounds good.
Sorry. Oh, they both succeed.
Okay. Well, the grease stays there. So.
Yep. You can't light it on fire in this version, though, can you?
No.
Yeah, it sucks. Alrighty. So the sailors continue to work on the ship. Balls. Oh,
Okay.
Oh, you are
how
back,
many?
okay.
Yep, I'm back. So, how many sails do they have on this ship?
Just
What's
one.
How
Very-
are they rowing or they're not
oh
rowing?
no, they're
using
not
the
rowing.
sails
They're,
together.
they're sailing. Yep.
Yep. I cast create bonfire on the sails.
Alrighty, gotcha. So you cast create bonfire on the sails. The sail immediately catches on fire, and you hear the crew start screaming over there on the other side.
And then I duck.
All right. Squee.
Can I actually see the bozeman?
Yeah. Yeah, he's up high, just like our captain is.
I want to take a shot at him then.
Sure.
He's the top one in the stack, is that right?
Top one in the stack. That's right. Nice, that's a hit.
And I'll duck back down.
Alrighty. So as you take that shot, you see the bowsman kind of ducks down, and as he does, he doesn't really adjust the ship at all. And the sails are on fire, so it's going to move another 15 feet, which is going to put it, let's see, 15 minus 40 is 25 feet away from you. It immediately runs over the burning dinghy and almost runs over the sailor in the water. It leaves the other sailor behind, so the other sailor is kind of behind as well. So you got 3 sailors kind of spread out in the water. This one is the one that probably will drown. Oh, he's able to finally keep his head above water. Sailor 5 now is trying to put out the fire on the sail, so he goes over, grabs a bucket, and starts to throw water. Sue?
All right, I will cast a fairy fire on the top 4.
Yep, sounds good. Let's see. 2 succeed, 2 fail.
And I've never done this before, so can I cast a cantrip as well?
Yeah, I believe so. Right?
One of them has
If
to be a
it's a
bonus.
bonus action.
If it's bonus, that's right.
Oh, that's right. If it's a bonus
Yep.
action, okay. All right, never mind then.
All right. No problem.
Okay, so I cast fairy fire, and that's it.
Okay.
I duck back down.
Gotcha.
That when that guy ends his turn, he'll have to do another save.
All right, gotcha. Yeah, he just ended his turn.
And oh,
That's Sailor 26.
Yep. What were we gonna say, Sue?
no, I was taking the fairy fire off the 2 in the water.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Thank you. So he fails. 26 does.
He falls prone.
All right, gotcha. Thank you. I'll get him here in just a second. Oh, you got it. Thank you. I appreciate that. That was at the end of his turn, right?
Yeah, at the end of it.
All right.
So he gets to do what he's gonna do.
Gotcha. Yeah, he was just trying to put out the fire as well. So, Itchy 26 is prone at the very bottom. Otherwise, everybody else is normal.
So 17 was on the dinghy, right?
Yes, but he jumped off, so he's now in the water.
Yeah, he could drown. All right, I'll try to shoot the ones in the other ship then.
Yep, sounds good. Nice. So you hit the bowsman. Nice shot.
Yeah, I'll duck back down.
Alrighty, sounds good. That's Lou.
All right, I will move my hex to number 20
Uh-huh.
and do the disadvantage on strength saves and fire a Eldritch Blast.
Alrighty. That's a hit. Nice.
Why did that roll 2?
It looked like you had double effect on him, maybe? I'll take one of it off. I'll take the
okay.
last die off, so 2 points.
And then he will duck down.
Okay. Alright, so they are fully concentrating on trying to get the fire out. The captain brings the ship even closer, so you are now 5 feet away. So the ships are literally like bow to bow as they're passing sort of to the right of each other. So continues right all the way down. They're trying to put out the water. We'll worry about the guys in the water. Yeah, he's still standing there.
13, he ended his turn, right? Unless
Yep, he did.
falls.
Yep.
Looks like he fell.
All right, gotcha. So he falls
He's
prone as well.
prone.
Yep. And then Harry, it'll be your turn.
Move my wind up to this guy
All right.
as a bonus action.
Okay. Fails.
He gets blown off.
Okay.
Where's all our guys going?
We're gonna switch here a little bit. So
Oh, okay.
what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use this ship actually as the opposing
They're all
ship.
bailing.
Yeah, they're all jumping off, right? We're gonna use this as the opponent's ship actually, so because I think we're gonna see some acrobatics or something cool happen here in a minute.
Well, you're gonna see
And-
something.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm gonna
that'd be
shoot.
cool. I'm
Oh,
listening.
they're close, right? So
Yeah,
would
they're 5 feet
Bowman-
away.
Would Bowman 20 be within 30 feet of me?
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We're gonna say no. It's a long ship. Well, yeah, sure, he's close enough.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna thorn whip him.
All right, sounds good.
Is that it?
That does hit.
And I'll pull him 10 feet closer. I don't know if
Alright.
that's off the boat or what.
No, you would be pulling him towards you, so he's actually would be right there. And we're gonna put you all at top because that's where we'll be kind of on the map here. All right, Harry, you are. Is that it for you, Harry?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, gotcha. Sorry about the confusion on the map. I didn't expect it to go this way.
Well, neither did we.
How long have you been playing with this?
I
group?
know you would think I'd know better, right? So, all right. So these sailors continue to steer the ship. Balls.
Is my fire still firing?
Oh yeah. Well, no, they've been completely concentrating on it. So they have gotten it to a smolder now. There's about 3/4 of the sail that's left.
I just cast it in a different spot then.
All right, sounds good. So it catches back on fire again.
And I duck.
Alrighty. Okay, Squee.
The bowsman's still up, is that right?
No, Bozeman's dead.
Bowsman's dead.
So
Alright, I'm gonna try and hit one of the ones that is concentrating on trying to put out the fire.
okay. So the ship is doesn't have anybody steering it, so it is free sailing essentially.
Oh, the two in the grease are on the ground though, aren't they?
They are prone, both of them. Yes. That's a hit.
And then I'm ducking back down and hiding.
Alrighty, sounds good. So this sailor is probably, yeah, just kind of treading water. Wow, your stealth has been terrible. So let's see. Who was the last one to attack the captain or the bozeman? Was that you, Harry, or?
Yeah.
The thorn whip.
Yeah, it was the thorn whip. All right, so I need you to make a d20 roll. If it's 10 or less, their ship crashes into yours. If it's 10 or higher, the ship does not. So it careens off to the side. You see that it's kind of sails just past as the Captain Cargill kind of yells out, and he's like, "Damn it, get control of that ship!" And the ship now is immediately alongside the broadside of you.
Fire the cannons!
Yeah, right. Sue, you are up. So the ship is literally, there's a 5-foot gap between your ship and their ship, and you guys are right alongside them.
All right, I'm gonna jump aboard and run right up to this sailor
All right, sounds good.
and stab him with my rapier.
All right, sounds great.
Oh my god!
It doesn't
I
stop.
decide not to do that, and I thump him with my horn instead.
Have you ever hit with that rapier?
I don't
I'm just
think you
curious.
have.
I don't
I
remember.
do not think
I
so.
don't think so either. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy.
And that's it.
Especially when most of the attacks seem to be with advantage, and he's still.
I know.
However, I got to be honest, your horn playing is phenomenal. I just want to let you know that.
Well, there you go. See, it was a battle. It was a, whatever the Civil War, charge music is.
Yeah, right. So, It gives your crew some hope. All right, so Sailor 26 now sees that there is somebody on his ship. So he does stand up, and he fumbles with his short sword and takes a stab at Sue.
I wonder if he has to make a dex thing for standing up in Greece.
I don't know. What does it say?
Each player standing in the area must succeed a dex save. Fall prone. If a creature enters an area or ends its turn there, it must succeed a dexterity saving throw or fall prone. I don't know. It doesn't really say.
It doesn't, does it?
Doesn't sound like they have to roll until the end of their turn.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Surprised WebDM didn't talk about that one. So we'll take a stab there. Oh, Fairy Fire drops. Itchy.
Okay. Well, that means I programmed the
he
fairy
passed.
fire right.
Yeah, you got that right. Yep. He passed. All right, so he's still standing there now in the grease.
I jump on board.
Alrighty.
And
She's
I-
been
I
slobbering
rage
at the mouth to do
I've
this.
been waiting.
So I'm sorry, Itchy. What's that? You jump on board and then.
I pull out my axe and go running, screaming towards this one.
Alrighty. Yikes.
I hit, right?
Oh yeah. You see him sliding back in the grease, trying to get away.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Sorry.
Yeah. Nice.
Alright, and because I am raging
Uh-huh.
and my ancestral protectors pop out,
Oh my.
Pop out of where?
well, if he tries to hit anybody other than me, then
nice.
he's at disadvantage.
Gotcha. That's awesome. That's really cool.
All good.
Alrighty, I like it. That's,
How did I get resist off?
That's what
Is
she
that
said.
part of your thing?
Yeah.
So you see, is it little little guardians of goblins that kind of stand up around you?
Yes.
That's awesome.
All right, I will run here, and I will cast Hexblade's Curse on number 26 here.
Alrighty.
Do I need to do anything on that? Let's see.
I don't know if it's coded right or not.
Well, we'll see. There's two effects here. One says cursed, and then the other one is the. Well, no, it says custom cursed. Okay, and then I'll attack this guy with. What does he have?
I think quarterstaff.
Quarterstaff. Yep.
Yeah.
Or mace. He'll use
yeah,
quarterstaff.
Does he have that set up like I did mine, where you drop the curse on the thing and then the if thing goes on yourself?
I don't know. It's not really. It wasn't really set up, so we'll see how it all goes.
Oh, jeez. Nice damage.
No, it didn't apply it. I'll add it on.
Oh, yeah, so a bonus of, what, 2?
Yeah, so it goes to 7. Yep, got it.
And that's it.
Alrighty. So 34 sees now that the ship is being boarded. They ignore the
Oh, wait.
sail. Yeah.
Any attack roll you make against the cursed target is a critical hit. Oh, on a 19. Okay, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
yeah,
Never mind.
20.
Sorry.
No, it's okay. Not a problem. So 34 kind of runs up and attacks again with his short sword. Wow. Oh, nice.
And he falls overboard.
Yeah, right. Let's see. So you have advantage on him for the next attack roll. So it'll be the captain, who now sort of tries to steer the ship around and brings it back. So the ship is now 10 feet distance between him, and he's circling, trying to get back to the ship that's now just listless on its own, sailing. So the ship's 10 feet away now. Effect. Sorry, bear with me 1 second. It doesn't fall my fire. Thought I had it coded. All right, sailor number 36 also kind of runs up. Whoops, not into the grease though. To Tetsulo and takes a stab as well. We let's see. What's Tetsulo's? Okay, good. Yep, it was increased. Great. So there's that, and 18 is in the water. 13 does try to stand up. And it stabs at Itchy. Oh boy.
Oh no.
That's not good, Itchy. So Itchy, you see that kind of puts a stab and she just sort of stands there as that happens.
I'll do the stand-in. I don't know if that passed or failed there, Greg.
He failed, yep. He's going to fall back
prone
down again.
Yeah.
God, max damage too. Alright, so he falls back prone. He's out in the water. Harry. Those ships are 10 feet apart now. But everybody's standing on the other, well, except for the one's prone and the grease. The one
I'm going to crash into this guy down here on the bottom.
Oh, yeah, yep, gotcha. So you're going to hit him with your Death Devil?
Yeah, see if
Gotcha.
he makes it.
He does. He succeeds.
It takes half damage.
Yep, nice.
4.
Alright.
Is there a way? I have Thorn Whip. I don't know how far I'm
10,
actually away from these guys.
15, 20.
So 30 would hit, but I think we're further away, huh?
Yeah, so your ship's 10 feet away. You guys are circling behind the ship now because the ships have passed, so yes. Well, actually, you could try to hit 5. That's fine.
I was going to see if I could hit one of these bottom 2 here, but I wasn't sure. It doesn't matter to me. If I can, I'll use something else.
I
But
would say you're probably at the back of the ship, so you could probably get 5, the guy that you hit with the Dust Devil, but otherwise I don't think you get the other 2.
all right, I'll go for that guy.
Alright. Nice, that's a hit.
And then I pull him 10 feet back.
Yep, so you rip him off the boat, he falls into the water. Alrighty, these sailors are just busy. So, Balls, you're 10 feet away from the ship, and you would be more than 30 away from the 2 sailors that are at the bottom, 34 and 36. You guys are now behind their ship.
Okay, and here's a question.
Yeah.
Nobody's trying to put the fire out on the sails.
No, not
anymore.
now. Nope.
Okay, and basically their ship's dead in the water.
Pretty close. It's about half speed now. But by the time it finishes burning through another 2 rounds, it'll be dead. It's a big sail.
Nobody's steering it right now.
No, yeah, it's just going on its own. Your you know that by looking at the speed of the 2 ships, the captain's ship will catch up to that next round.
All right. Well, maybe I cast Bonfire right there. I wonder if the grease is going to do anything for it.
Yeah, we were talking about that. Unfortunately, it doesn't light. It's the wrong version, but I hear you.
All right. Well, maybe I'll do something different this time.
Sure.
Bonus action, I cast Hex.
Okay.
And I take a shot with my Thunder Cannon.
Oh boy, here we go.
Number 13. Any minuses?
13 is prone.
Oh, no. Well, I don't want to shoot 13. 26?
26 is fine.
All right. Any minuses?
Nah, I don't think so. All right, that's a hit. Nice shot. So you guys hear a large boom as smoke comes out of the end of this metal cannon that he has. All right. As that happens, the sailors on your ship all sort of dive down for cover. Squee.
Well, I will take a shot because we're on the backside. I will take a shot at one of the people up against Tetsu. Then.
All right. Sounds good. 34, 36.
And I'm going to use one of my basic poisons.
Alrighty. Nice. They succeed, unfortunately.
But I do get sneak attack since he's right there. Impact tactics, I forgot about that. But
Oh, yeah.
I only get so many advantages.
Nice.
And then I'll duck back down and hide.
Alright. Alright, so... Oh, this one's in the water as well. Sue, you're up.
All right. So this guy's dead.
Yep. I'm cleaning up the thing right now.
All right. So I will deftly do kind of a salute with my rapier and stab into the guy who is. I think he's on the ground.
He is. He's prone, yep. If you hover over him, the icon should show up. If you
Well, why didn't it give me advantage?
don't know. Maybe not applied to him, maybe?
Oh, did I not put prone on
That's
him?
okay. There you go. Yep, that's a hit.
Okay. Yay! I hit.
I'll put it on
I look
that.
back. Hey guys, I hit. Woo!
Right.
And that's it.
All right. Sounds good. Alrighty, so the sailors here, you see they're now kind of, at least on your ship, cowering after having this large cannon fire off. They've never ever heard that before, so it sort of startles all of them. Itchy. Oh, never mind.
Paralyzed.
I see that. Yep, just staring there looking. Tetsalu.
All right. So this guy died. So I get
Oh, for your curse.
my curse thing,
Yep.
and then he will attack number 36
Alrighty.
with his. He'll take both hands and swing down on the guy with his quarterstaff.
Okay.
Uh,
Oh boy.
Is that a miss?
Yeah. Sadly. Barely.
Yeah,
though,
and that's
but
it.
is. Alright. So 34 takes a stab at Tetsalu. And hits with the first stab. Now that they've sort of regained, stabs again for a second attack. And misses. The captain, a little startled by the cannon and sort of curses something under his breath, does bring the ship up alongside the other ship. They're both going in the same direction now, and brings the gunwales very close. The captain's obviously very good at what he does. And I have you, all the ones that are on the ship immediately next to the other ship. And he kind of brings the speed to match at this point. Thanks, Squee. Sailor 36 again attacks at Tetsalu. Stabs and hits with the first one. And stabs with the second. Misses with the second attack. 13 stands up. Again, thinks that it has the advantage. However, I think it's dropped off, hasn't it? Yeah, it did. And stabs at Itchy.
What's the protected?
That's from my rage.
Why does 13 have protected?
It shouldn't. It doesn't matter unless I have something else on him.
Oh, okay.
All right. So he hits you with the first attack, Itchy, but misses with the second. Harry, you're up.
All right, just to make. All right, so he still stands.
Yep, he still stands. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Can I move up above balls? Can I get on
Yeah.
top of balls?
Yeah, you can.
I'm gonna move to there.
All right. Sounds good. So you're on top of balls.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and pull that guy with Thorn Whip.
All right.
Quit touching me, Harry.
I'm gonna use my
a hit.
die. Oh, is it a hit? Oh, okay.
Yep, it
I'm
is.
not gonna.
Sorry, it's okay. I shouldn't have told you, but yes, it's a hit.
I'll pull him 10 feet towards
All
me.
right. So I guess he's here because I can't really put him on top of the other one. Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm fine with
Okay,
it.
gotcha. You'll need a deck save probably, right?
Yeah, and then I'll crash.
Yep. So he fails, so I'll get the prone on him.
Oh, I put the wrong thing on him.
All right, no problem.
You'll need to add down or move 3.
Yep, we got it.
Crash my Dust Devil into this other guy.
Okay.
So he goes 10 feet, whichever way you wanna. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
That's my turn.
And all right. Balls.
Yeah, all right. I'll move. Is sailor number 13 back standing up?
Yes, 13 standing up and 34 is prone.
I will move my hex over to number 13
Okay.
and take a shot. Any minuses?
Nah. That's a hit. All right, he's dead.
And that will be my turn.
Alrighty. Squee.
I will stand up and shoot at the guy who's prone on the ground.
Alrighty. That's a hit. Nice shot.
And then I'll duck back down.
Alright.
I will cast Vicious Mockery on 34.
Alrighty. Nice. He fails. Poor guy. All by himself.
And he feels real bad about his life choices and his self-esteem right now.
Yeah, no kidding. Itchy.
I did not lose my rage because he hit me during my rage.
That's right. That's a hit.
And a bonus action, my offhand.
Okay.
I think you got him.
Nope. Get him again.
No, I don't stop.
Alright, so he's dead. So you look around and you see the carnage on the ship that's here, and the sails have now completely burned, and the boat is sort of floating there. Alright, Itchy, you chew his ear off. So Itchy has his ear now in her mouth.
Search the ship.
I jump over and I pull my short sword and I'm like, I'm a pirate.
The captain looks to you and he says, "What in tarnation were you shooting?"
What do you mean?
"What is that thing?" He points to that metal tube that you have.
Well, that's a little invention of mine.
That thing is crazy loud.
It's called a thunder cannon.
That's something, that's for sure. So as you guys, yep, go ahead if you want to do healing dice, you can. So as you get onto the ship itself, you see that This appears to be sort of like a patrol boat, is essentially what it is. So you do see that they have various arrows that are here, and obviously their bows. The sail is completely burnt now, so it's sort of a dead in the water ship, unfortunately. But if as you kind of go down, you do see that there is some provisions in the inside the ship itself, and you do see that in the captain's cabin there's about 50 gold that's there.
I take the food.
Alrighty, gotcha. So there is about 2 weeks of rations total for one person, so it'd be 14 rations.
Any other gear that the other ship may use, like tar or stuff that they use aboard ships?
So it does have some, but it looks like this is kind of a ship that just goes out during the day and then comes back and docks for night. So they don't have a lot of that stuff, but they do have a little bit that's there.
Do the guys have any gold on them? The ones that
They
are
don't.
left?
They appear to be pretty much Tellurian guards. They're out here doing their patrols and whatnot. So all they really have is their shirts, their tunics, their chain shirts that's on, the short swords. And
Yeah, we're taking all those tunics and stuff off.
all right.
Yes, we are.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So you are able to collect some tunics that are there. Does anybody have the mending spell, by the way?
Absolutely.
All right, gotcha. So you're able to collect up enough tunics off the ship itself to supply all of you.
Hopefully supply us and our shipmates.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, do they have a flag or any kind of banner that they fly?
They did, but it's been burnt to crisp by the bonfire. It was on the sail.
On the main mast, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
We probably should rig the ship to sink, huh?
I can take care of that.
Yeah. Captain agrees. He says, "Aye, we got to get rid of all the evidence." As he looks eerily over at all the fisher boats that have now started moving back towards the port.
I cast create bonfire.
Alrighty, so you're gonna burn the ship.
Oh yeah.
Alrighty, why don't you go ahead and give me a D20? Nice.
I was thinking more like we just kind of blow a hole in the bottom and let it sink quietly, but whatever.
So over the next about 17 minutes, Balls continues to work on his bonfire to finally get some holes in it to finally sink the ship. The ship does fully engulf at one point. You feel comfortable, Balls, that the ship is going to go down.
Cool.
And everybody else feels uncomfortable by the lighthouse that we've just created.
Any of the people still floating in the water, I'm going to start shooting with my sling.
Yeah, you notice that they're guards, not very good sailors or swimmers, so they all eventually start to sink. But if you want to throw off some caltrops, you're more than welcome to. But they're not going to make it.
I want to hasten that event.
All right, gotcha. So go ahead and we'll click off. I don't know, 5 or 6 caltrops. So you quickly
hasten that.
Here, the captain said, "Nice work. I'm glad to see you can protect us." And then he looks up to one of the people. He's like, "And whoever attacked first, can you at least give us a warning next time?"
Like a code?
Yeah, code. Do you have any good code words?
Code 2.
Code 2.
Code Deuce.
Deuce. Okay. He quickly kind of gets the ship turned around and starts heading north. He's like, we need to stretch out the distance between us and in the city.
I thought you were going to pick order number 665.
Oh, that would have been good. Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Order 999. Yeah, right. So, so you guys continue on your way. You do see the captain continues to look behind to check to see if there's anybody kind of tailing him. He finds some fishing boats and sort of weaves in between them, waving and whatnot. As he does so, it appears that you've dropped any sort of chase or anybody following you. As you kind of continue on, I'll put you all back on the boat or on the ship. Obviously, you see some of the sailors are kind of worse for wear that are there, but still trying to do their best to get the ship going and to make sure that everything's tip-top shape.
If there's any damage to the ship, I could use my mending spell to mend.
Kind of to fix it up. That sounds
Yep,
good.
yep. And I got tools too, so I mean, whatever.
All right, nice. That sounds good. So you guys continue on your travels here as well. So here's the thing. We're not going to take a break tonight. I'm sorry. I didn't expect the combat to take as long. I thought it was going to be more of a verbal thing. So I think probably I have one more event that I'd like to do. It's going to be probably fairly quick. Let's do that, and then probably about 20 minutes we'll probably call it. Sorry, I'm pretty exhausted, so I apologize. It's going to be early tonight. Is everybody okay going another 25 minutes or so?
Yeah, I'm good.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So as you guys kind of continue throughout the evening and whatnot, it does become nighttime. As the night appears, you see that the sky has a very bright moon that's there tonight. The captain seems much more relaxed. The crew members are trying to kind of lick their wounds to get them feeling better and whatnot. Just prior to sort of getting to the point where you're going to start with your watches and whatnot, the captain kind of says, he says, there's that glow again in the water, and you kind of look off and you see there's this sort of purple hue that's in the water, probably maybe a few hundred yards away, and it's an area that's probably about 50 feet in diameter or so, and sort of puts off this sort of iridescent light that you see. As he continues to steer the ship, you see that this iridescence continues to sort of move towards you in a direction, and the captain goes, damn it, it's Nereus again, I'm sure. And so
What is this?
it's one of the Tritons. He patrols the area. We try to avoid him as much as we can.
Is it a creature?
Aye, it is a creature. You don't know what a Triton is?
No, I'm not much of a seaman.
That's too bad. Seaman's the best. Anyways, the Tritons, they're sea folk. They always seem to pester ships as they go on by or give them hard times. Usually we pay an homage of either some small creature. He kind of eyes the boat to see, sometimes we have a dog or a cat or something that's small. You have any ideas?
I do.
What's your idea?
Squee.
I use my hat of vermin
Uh-huh.
and create a rat.
Nice. So all of a sudden there's a rat, and you see some of the sailors are like, there's rats on board.
And as soon as it pops out of the hat, I'll try to chase it down because
right.
it's not like it's my friend.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So the rat immediately takes off.
Harry,
I
ball.
cast animal friendship on it.
Okay, so you start to cast
I,
animal
I
friendship.
will make this work.
And you see Harry, you itchy out to Harry and Balls.
Catch the rat.
What save is it for it? It's a
15.
for what wisdom? All right.
Wisdom,
Yeah.
15.
Yeah, just a second. Let me grab a rat. All right, and then what do you yell to Harry and Balls? What do you want them to do?
Catch the rat.
All right, gotcha. So I'll have acrobatics from both of them to see if they can catch it. And you said it was a 15, right? Why don't you roll against
Rat
it? You
saved.
roll against the rat. Yeah, I'll let you roll it. Let's see if you have any chance. All right. So, that's the acrobatics. Oh, Harry Balls. Ooh, man, I don't know. We'll see. Is it not doing it, Sue? Oh, there's a rat at the bottom of the combat tracker.
I can't make Sewell target it.
Really? Oh, is it because it's not on the map? That's weird. There you go. It's on the map now. I'll put it right next to Sewell.
Maybe because it's not an enemy. I don't know.
Really? Oh, maybe.
There it goes.
Did it go for you? What does it say?
You got to click on this thing up there, probably.
There you go. So it fails. So
Yay!
It is your friend. And let's see. And unfortunately, Harry and Balls, you guys bounce heads against each other, and the rat scurries between you two, and you kind of fall backwards. And
I ask it to come over towards me.
it does. It hides behind Sue's boot.
So, Itchy, what do you want to do with this thing?
Didn't the captain just say that he needed some kind of sacrifice?
So you want me to throw it overboard?
I don't know. Ask the captain.
Captain, what do we do for the sacrifice?
He's like, nobody keeps a rat on board. Throw the damn thing over.
Well, this is for the sacrifice, though, right?
Fine, but pick the darn thing up. It may go under the trap door and go eat our provisions.
All right,
Rat poop in there.
I'll pick it up.
Bad enough we got goblins on this damn ship.
Do we have to wait for the creature to arrive, or do we just throw it in and call it good, or how do we do this?
So immediately as you say that, on the side of the ship, you see this creature comes up, and he's got these long ears and a very pronounced nose that comes together, carrying a triton, and it's kind of kicking its feet back and forth. And Naranius says, "You pay the toll."
I move over to the edge of the boat where he is, and I grab the rat and I say, "Be free!" and I throw him towards Nereus.
All right.
Nerianus.
The rat goes, "Thanks."
Swim, little buddy.
Nerianus quickly grabs it with its hand. As it does, it kind of squeezes it, and you hear the rat sort of squeak as that happens. Nereus looks at you and looks to the ship and says, the shining sun has the shining sun has seen the wickedness you hide in your hearts, and thus it will be the sun who brings your doom." And as that happens, he swallows the rat and disappears under the water.
I'll go up next to Sue. Seemed like a nice guy.
That sounded a little bit ominous.
You hear the captain goes, "Huh, never talked to me before. Interesting." You see the purple starts to sort of fade away as he either goes deep under the sea or disappears nonetheless.
I'm thinking to myself that the captain sure has picked a very busy way to travel.
Yeah, it's a busy place, isn't it? So the ship continues on. You see that the purple disappears. After about 45 minutes to an hour, you see him sort of relax. He's constantly always kind of looking back to where the purple was at. Seems like he's had probably issues with this before. You have a good headwind. You do see that the ship continues to push through the water without much difficulty. You guys are able to get through your watches without any difficulties, and you do get a long rest. As you awaken, you do see that the ship continues along the coastline, and you can see, for you that have not been up to the north, you do see that there is this large stone wall that sort of extends from the ocean side of the ocean and the land, and kind of curves up and around, and you see there's a large mountainous area to the north of the wall itself. The wall looks similar to the Great Wall of China, if you want to think of it as such. and you see that on the southern side, you do see that there's definitely farming fields and woods and whatnot, some scattered kind of agrarian sort of towns that you can see. On the north side, it's completely no civilization is noted. You see that there's mountains and trees and no sort of roads or anything of the sort. As you continue to the north, you see that the ship continues over the next several days. You continue traveling past the savage north. The air gets markedly cooler as you get up this way. You do see that there's some snow, scattered snow on the mountains, as well as the fields are noted that. The temperature's probably into the, I don't know Celsius for the Canadians, sorry, but probably in the 40s and 50s Fahrenheit is where we're at here. So it's pretty cool at this point. And you see the captain kind of looks and he says, I think we're a little light on fresh water, I think. We're going to be passing Seal Island. There's a stream that feeds into the bay there. We'll take on water there. I'll send a party ashore. Of course, you know what that means. We can spend maybe a day or something, doing some of the richest fur seal hunting grounds and all along the coast. I'm thinking of organizing a little hunting expedition. Interested?
Do we have time for that?
Yeah, aren't we supposed to get these weapons to the flaming tomahawks over there?
He says, well, I mean, we need water anyways. Don't you think, it's going to take some time to fill up the buckets. So what's wrong with doing a little hunting for seals, huh?
What do you need water for? We just gotta get to land.
He's like, well, this is my boat. I'm the captain. When I say we need water, we get water. We're stopping there to get water.
How far is it to where we're supposed to be going?
He's like,
Sorry, I didn't ask that. Never mind. Don't answer.
No problem. I was gonna say he's happy to answer it. And he kind of looks to y'all and he's like, I'm the captain, right?
I say in Goblin for now.
Sounds good. He doesn't understand at all. So he's like, so we're pulling aside. We're going to Seal Island. That's that. It's final.
This seems weird, I say in Goblin.
Is it Order 666?
I think we were supposed to meet the flaming tomahawks first, or flaming axes, swords.
I bet it's a trap.
I bet you're right.
And then we'll just get to kill him early.
Wouldn't it be fun just to go club some seals, though?
Only if they're babies.
So you guys arrive on the island. As you get there, you do see that he kind of pulls the ship up close along to the island itself. You do see the island's fairly good size. There are what appears to be tracks of seals. Seals make tracks? I'm not sure. Anyways, seal droppings, poop. I don't know what they do. So anyways, he says, all right, let's do a little hunting. And he's like, if you're interested, let me know. And he kind of looks to y'all on the ship.
Do you have any clubs?
Oh, yeah, sure. And he's like, that's the only way to get them, right?
But who's gonna watch the boat?
Boat will be fine. Don't worry about it. We've done this before.
I'm sure you have. I'll stay here.
All right. Anyone else?
I'm not leaving my brother.
Tetsulo and Sulex will go with him.
Alrighty, gotcha. And so he looks over to Squee and Balls. He's like, you two little ones coming? You never lived till you clubbed a seal.
I'm going.
Excellent.
I'm shaking my head no.
Alrighty, gotcha. So the captain says, your guys' loss. So he splits up the sailors that are with you into 3 groups. So Sue, Tetsulo, and Balls, you each have 2 sailors apiece. and he says, he's like, all right, make a little wager. What do you think?
Wait, if there's two sailors with each of us, who's going to get water?
Oh, he's like, those stupid people on the boat can get the water. We're here to get some seals, right?
No, I thought the main point of stopping was for water, and then you were sending out another expedition for seals.
Fine, I'm the captain. You people on the boat, go get water. All right, let's
Well,
talk
there's
about
water
this.
all around us.
Fresh water, not seawater.
How do I tell if it's fresh?
Is it yellow?
Well, the water around us isn't yellow.
Captain, why don't
Yeah.
you send 3 or 4 of your men to go get water? The other 2 can come seal hunting with us. That makes like 7 or 8 people hunting seals.
Yeah, but each seal is worth 50 gold apiece. I'm not gonna. They can get water. We're gonna get as many seals as we can.
50 gold apiece?
Yeah.
Well, where at?
What do you mean where at?
I mean, where do you sell them at for that amount of money?
Oh, Daverin, you can get them there. Sometimes if I'm into Cambrian Bay, I come sometimes head to Gaston Hall. They pay really well. You guys are all thinking that you don't need me to. I mean, come on, you want to fish now, don't you? Let's go. Let's get some seals. So he starts to move off the ship. He does have people with you. He doesn't listen to your advice. He does send people with you. Nobody's getting water. So if you...
I'm going to cast suggestion on him.
Okay, alrighty. Grab his character sheet so I know what he has. Alright. Go ahead.
I need someone to target.
I think he's on there. Captain Cargill. He's on the combat tracker and he's on the ship. He's in the middle of the ship. Ooh.
Okay.
Even that eating rat made it.
I know. Ouch. Ouch.
All right, never mind.
So, I think he knows that you tried to charm him or suggest to him, didn't you? I'm trying to look to see here. I can't remember if it's the same as... I think he does. What? Or there's something else maybe that I'm thinking of that they know that.
I don't
It's not listed
see it says it.
there. It doesn't. Okay, cool. All right, so you try and you try. I don't. What were you going to suggest?
I was going to suggest that he sends his men to go get water.
Yeah, he looks at you. He says, "I said I'm not sending the men. Now go hunt. Let's go. Come on." And so you see he kind of sets off to go. Are you guys actually going to hunt?
So he broke the guys into groups?
He did.
Well, but he's sending all 6 guys with Sewell, Tets, and Balls, and then him as well, and then the rest of you guys are supposed to go get water.
Yeah, I'm not going to get water. As soon as they get off the boat, I'm going to go like rifling through all of this stuff and see what's in those boxes.
Yeah.
I think, Captain, I'll assist with getting water. We need to get this done, and we need to get underway.
Fine, go get your water. He kind of shoos you off. Like you're too much of a pain in the ass anyways. So, for Tetsalu and...
Well, Tetsalu would stay as well. He's not going to go.
Alright, Balls,
We're
you
brothers.
Are you hunting Balls?
Heck yeah, I'm hunting seal. We're looking for the little ones to club.
Yeah, alright. So I need a survival check from you.
Balls, you're still going to go?
Balls is halfway gone. You see the captain kind of puts his arm around you and he's like, good, I'm glad. Good job. Wow, nice roll. So, as you kind of go out and hunt for a couple hours, Balls, you're able to find a seal. And let me see, every 3 better than that. So you rolled a 17. You needed to beat a 15, and every 3 above it, you get an additional seal. So, okay, so you are able to get 1 seal. So you're off hunting. For the rest of the party that's on the ship or had stayed back to get water.
Yeah, I do what I said. As soon as they get out of sight distance, I start going through the boxes to see what's in there and go into the captain's quarters and
Gotcha.
whatever.
Yep. So there's no captain's quarters that's here, but you are able to kind of go through the boxes. So you open up the boxes. You find out that each box that is labeled is filled with arms, shields, and armor. So, and you see there's all kinds of weapons. There's approximately 26 tons of weapons and armor in the ship for the for where you're going with the symbols on it. You do see that there's food that's in here as well, that we talked about, the provisions. You do open up the water barrel. You see that the water barrel is almost 3/4 full. And the captain doesn't really have a quarters necessarily. It's just kind of an open ship in the bottom of it. But I'm trying to see if he has anything in it. Hang on 1 second. Just bear with me.
Sure.
To the right page.
So we're out of water, but the water barrel's 3/4 full.
Correct.
Balls, you're dead.
They want his thunder cannon. So you do find that there is a battered old sea chest that's kind of sitting underneath some of the bags and stuff at the bottom of the ship. It is locked.
Oh, well. Squee? Oh, Squee's gone. I'll
can
take
get
it
it.
back up. Yeah, I'll take it back to Harry.
Okay, gotcha. So Harry, she brings up this box with the lock on it.
I say we hit it with the axe.
I have an axe. I'll try to hack it with the
right,
the
gotcha.
axe.
Wait,
Sounds-
why don't
wait.
why don't you let us try to pick it first?
She hits it once.
He. All right. Okay. Yeah, you can do that.
Have an athletics roll from you, Itchy.
We could always break out the bottom and then like put it down there and they wouldn't know.
Yeah, Itchy, your axe bounces right off the lock. You hit the metal. Sue, it's your sleight of hand. I don't know what your you don't have thieves tools.
I do have these thieves tools.
Okay, gotcha. So you're able to unlock the lock with your thieves tools.
Okay.
So as you open it up, you see that the box is full of foul sort of captain's wardrobe, and there's fleas climbing all over them, and they're stacked up inside the wooden box. It's disgusting.
Fleas! I started eating them.
All right, gotcha. Oh, there's plenty there, man. You can eat till your heart's content. So you continue to eat them. You see that the clothes are stacked in there pretty tightly.
And that's all that's in there?
Do you take all the clothes out?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
After Harry gets done eating all the fleas.
Okay, gotcha. So Harry works at it about 30 minutes or so, eating all the fleas. You see he's got like flea bites all over his face and everything. And so finally, as he gets through, you see at the very bottom, there's a small silver statuette of a nude mermaid that's there. And you see about 115 gold that is just scattered around at the bottom of that chest. So I think we said it would be... And then I don't have a thing for the mermaid, but I'll get it. So, but that's all you find in there. And then you do find a wooden crate that's labeled emergency rations down there, which it was next to the box that you had as well.
We'll open that up.
Yeah, there's 6 bottles of whiskey in there. Ooh. So, for Squee, so you kind of trail behind the hunting groups as they go. Was there a certain group that you were going to follow at all, or no?
If the captain is staying with Balls, then I want to track them.
They split. So Balls went in one direction, the captain went in another direction.
Then I'm going to follow the captain.
All right, gotcha. So as you follow the captain, you see that he and his he took a couple of the sailors since Balls went on his own. So Balls is with 3 and the captain's with 3. You see that he continues to walk around and continues to try to look and find the seals as he's walking. You do hear him kind of discussing some things and talking about some stuff, and eventually he finds 2 seals as he's going and is able to get them clubbed and grabs them. And the discussion you hear is pretty much the captain's like, "I can't believe they didn't want to make any money, stupid idiots." He's like, "I can't wait until I can finally tip that boat, maybe turn it to the side, throw a couple of them overboard, show them that what it's like to be in real sea legs." He's like, "I don't like that tall guy either. He's pretty questionable. He tries to push me around a little bit." You can kind of hear them kind of supporting the captain and whatnot.
Okay.
You kind of continue to follow him around the island. Balls, you kind of come back, and it gets to be pretty late. Both of you make it back to the ship. The rest of the group that has been on the ship, is there anything else that you'd like to do prior to them coming back?
I'm definitely taking one of those whiskeys.
All right,
Maybe
gotcha.
2.
2? Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll put the crate back, or the chest back the way it was, and
Okay. Sounds good. So you guys kind of put everything back where it is and whatnot, and you see Balls is coming back. He's got a seal, right, Balls?
Yep, I come back with my seal.
Yep. And you see the 2 people, the 3 people that are the sailors that are walking back with them. They don't have any seals, but they look pretty tired as they're coming back up to you to the ship, and they climb aboard.
Goblin, maybe we should code 33 these 2. They just disappeared.
As you say that, you see the other group now is coming up, and you see the captain has 2 seals that he's carrying, and kind of coming along. Squee, you had a okay stealth roll, but it wasn't great. So the party actually sees you kind of trailing behind them as you're kind of coming up with the behind the captain.
I just hope the captain didn't see me.
Right? Tough to say, isn't it? So eventually the captain comes up, and you see him kind of climb up the side, and he's like, "Aha! Look at this. 2 beauties, don't you think?"
Is there any meat in there?
Ah, yes. Yes, there is, actually. And so he kind of plops it down and takes out his dagger and sort of cuts along the belly and opens up the seal and starts to kind of try to trim off the seal fur around the edges. As that happens, Squee, why don't you give me another stealth roll, see if you can get up on the ship without him noticing. There you go. So you see Squee kind of lumbers up the back of the ship, the stern of the ship, and the captain has his back to him, and he's kind of sort of almost filleting out the seal, and he's like, "Here you go," and he kind of throws it to you, Itchy.
Oh, yeah, I'll eat it.
Yeah. He's like, "God, disgusting creatures." And then digs out another one and throws it back over to you as well for the second one. Looks to you, Balls. He says, "Ah, you only got one, huh?" Well, don't worry. Tomorrow we'll do some more hunting. We'll get more.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
No, we need to set sail. We need to keep on moving.
Don't you see a good thing when you got it?
I do, but we're not heading back down south anyway, so when you head back down south, you can stop by here, and then you can go to Daverin after that. That works out perfect for you.
I was thinking about taking the river through the borderlands down to Gaston Hall. I'm not going to be able to get back to Seal Island, so that doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it?
We have a specific mission that you've been paid to do, and we're here to protect you doing it, and side excursions were not part of that mission. So please, let's weigh anchor and head off.
Well, I see where this is. Fine. I'll give you half the price, 25 gold apiece for each one that I get. So we'll call that. Let's see. There's 50 gold, and he kind of reaches in his pouch. He's like, here.
I'm gonna cast suggestion.
All right, you're gonna try it again.
Yep.
So he's like, here, I'll just pay you. We'll go ahead and we'll collect some more seals. We'll all make some money. And I mean, what's 2 more days? It's really not that big of a deal. I don't understand.
2 more days.
Well, yeah. I mean, we gotta obviously hunt tomorrow, and then probably on the 3rd day too.
I think we should leave. I think we should weigh anchor immediately and get on our way. Your treasures and your seals can wait for your trip back.
He says, I think we should leave. I think we should weigh anchor and leave right away. And he says, crew, weigh anchor. You see the crew kind of looks at him almost sort of like, really, Cap? Really? He's like, you heard me. Bring up the anchor. Let's go. And they go, oh, yes, sir, of course. And they start bringing up the anchor. And so as that happens, the ship continues to take off unless anybody else has anything else they want to do.
Nope.
Nope.
Alrighty. Okay. So the ship continues along and continues to travel at least for the next 8 hours. Right? I think that's how long suggestion is.
Yes.
Yeah. So you guys continue along the way. You do have 3 seals though, so that's pretty nice. You'll at least get 50 gold, maybe balls.
Heck yeah! I'll sell it. I'll tell the captain. I'll sell you that seal for 45 gold.
Alrighty, gotcha. And the captain says, "Sure, I'll take it."
Yep, I'll sell it to him for 45 gold.
Alrighty, gotcha. So he gives you personally 45 gold.